Okay, how to draw the basic body shapes. It is a basic part of anatomy. I'm not going to go crazy about this. I will do another video on full detail on anatomy. Now, what you have here is two human bodies here that I traced basically. I used two references and I've created two bodies here, and the circles that you see in a line here are basically the head shape and how many heads it takes to create a full body. Now, some people say seven, some people say eight, some people say 7.5, whatever. But this is basically basic proportions of the body, and I've labeled everything as well on what they are, what parts of the body are. Now I'm taking a blue pencil here now to demonstrate the shapes I use, which are these: a circle, a triangle. I use oval shapes as well. But these are the basic shapes I use for creating the body. As you see me on YouTube, I just throw many circular shapes, sometimes triangle, depends on the situation. Anyway, so let's take for example the head here. All right, that's one circle here. The chest, okay, you got the chest here, which is the upper part of the body. This little circle is for the rib, where the rib cage is and the belly. Then you got the back side, the hips. Another circle for the thighs, the knee, the calf muscle, where the ankle's gonna be, the heel, and the rest of the foot. Okay, these are circles that I use just to basically draw a quick form of the body. Here, however, I'm gonna put a triangle because it's a circular triangle because it's facing the front. All right, just like this one here. Another circle for where the belly is. Another one for her hips. There you go. And then you got the circle for the thigh, the knee, that bone here for what it's called, the ankle, the foot, the thigh again, the shin. That's the word, the shin. The shin here as well, the ankle bit that goes there, and so forth. So this is what I do. I create circles to quickly make the form. Now I'm gonna do in pink now, just roughly how I exaggerate that in to do the shape that Cherry has. Yeah. So although it is similar to this that I've just done, there's a bit of tweaking here and there of Cherry. She's very exaggerated in some points. You've got the head shape. The chest always flies out like that. All right, it's really exaggerated. It goes really outwards. Yeah, and a tinier circle for the belly, just to give her a small waist, basically. Because where the hip shape is with the back side and everything, if you notice, it curves there. Yeah, I've made this curve now. It goes like that. Okay, just because I threw in the chest out more. Really exaggerate that. You can only exaggerate this if you push out the chest more, make the waist smaller, and the backside more curvier. Okay, and then you got like the thigh here. I don't know if I'm gonna have room to do her because she has long legs. The knee, the calf muscle, and the ankle here, and so forth. Okay, maybe it's a bit too. It's a bit too. Basically, Cherry's body is over exaggerated. Her legs are longer than a normal person's legs, because I want to emphasize her legs more, and these are the things that people are attracted to: is long legs, tiny waists, big bust, big lips, all that stuff, big eyes. Things are exaggerated in cartoons, but this is what I do. I use circular shapes, sometimes triangles, but mostly circular shapes. For the thigh, I'm gonna do it again. Actually, just try it one more time. If I can fit it in here. It's because I'm looking at the human being on the left hand side, and I'm trying to keep it the same length. But this part of the tutorial is just to show you what I do to form the body. Okay, I just draw shapes. Okay, it's all about shapes. Some people like to just get straight into it and draw the whole body, but I prefer to draw shapes so you can know how to adjust. Here again, the circle is smaller so that the hips fly out. Yeah, we want our pin-up girl to be curvy. That's what's beautiful about pin-up drawings, is that they're curvy. I mean, they ain't no twiglets that that you see on fashion TV and stuff like that. I mean, I don't even find that attractive. That's in my opinion. I don't know about you guys, but I believe a pinup girl has to be curvy. Okay, so give her the hips, give her a tiny waist, throw big bust or small bust, doesn't matter. But obviously, pinups, they want big busts. But you still can get away with small busts as well. But the main thing is to understand how to throw in the shapes. Okay, just like that. Now look at this. I can easily curve any direction I want because of the shapes I'm using. Um, yeah, I think I can open the thighs out a bit there. But yeah, that's what I do. And you can connect everything after that, after you've done the shapes. So what I do is, before I start a picture, I decide the pose, and I get this. I decide how I'm gonna lay it out, and then I just throw in all the shapes, and I just modify the shapes first before I go anywhere. This is the shoulders, another shape for the bicep. I'll be talking about the arms later on, but this is what I do. And for the forearm, the wrist, and another shape for where the hand is going to be. Yeah, the same thing on this side. You got the elbow, the forearm, the wrist, and the hand. Um, this is not correctly the actual Cherry layout. That's not how she does look like. She's a bit too much here, but I'm just trying to demonstrate the shapes. I want you to understand shapes, because circles are so easy to draw, and our body is circular. No matter how skinny someone is, all right, they are actually circular. Everything on them is circular. Um, but yeah, drawing circles are easy to do. Okay, it's just a circle. You just got to decide where to place them. Okay, and that is it. You just practice throwing these circles everywhere and forming the body. Now, this is not a real anatomy lesson where I can go in detail about muscles and the bone structure of the whole body and stuff. I will be doing this in another tutorial one day. If this is that day, then it's already here. So for now, it's not been created. So this is the first tutorial on toonboxstudio.com. So these are the basic shapes I use, and practice this. You will find all these in the folder as well. So if you have a character and you want to create a cool pin-up, then I advise you to use your shapes first, and make sure it's in proportion, and then draw over it to add the details. You've seen how I do it on YouTube. This is how I do it here. We'll be demonstrating a real thing in a while when we're creating our final piece. So practice makes perfect, guys, and I hope you enjoy this bit. So that's it. That's the basic body shapes and basic anatomy. Drawing Cherry's hands. Cherry has very feminine hands. What I do, I draw a circle and basic shapes of where roughly her thumb will be coming out from here. Make sure you're just nice and slim the fingers, and where the joints will meet and stuff like that. What I usually do is right. This is just a basic drawing of how her fingers shapes will be. I just draw roughly the shape where they will all meet together, roughly, and then I just add in the detail like this. I just draw these lines through the middle like that, curve them on top where the tips will be, and down to the where the joint of the hand is, and there's the third finger here as well, and the little one, the pinky. And this is what I do basically. I draw what the shape of the hand would look like, and then I add the details after. Now obviously she would not do this thing here right now unless she's like raising her hand up in front of the school teacher, which I don't really have her in school. Well, you never know, maybe in the future I might have her, but this is what I do. I always start off with a basic circle and or some kind of oval shape, and then I'll decide where I'm going to place everything. So let's try now to draw, how about this is where the wrist is going to be here. It joins the circle, and I'm going to decide to lift a finger up maybe, or yeah, maybe a finger. So this is going to be a fist here. So that now this shape here is going to be the fist. Here is going to be where the finger is. So I just draw the line and I'll tape it around the tip here, nice and tapered, and make sure there's no pointy fingernails or anything like that. Curve it, keep it the cartoon style. And then for the fist here, we just just draw a bit of the knuckle there, and the final finger that you can see, the pinky, will wrap around like this, and just throw in like the palm there and join the rest of the wrist. It's really simple. I do find though that hands can be tricky, the same as feet. Hands and feet can be tricky, so that's why it's good to draw them roughly, and then when you go over it in the line art, it comes out smooth. But I do find that hands, for me personally, is the hardest thing to draw for some reason. Maybe because we do not have a reference. You should always have references. But that's what I do. I try to keep the wrist thin though. Try to keep the wrist as thin as possible. So let's say she's putting her hand out straight. All right. So here's where the arm is, the wrist there. Okay. So I've drawn the circle, and here's going to be where the first finger is going to be, and the rest is going to wrap around like that. And here's where the thumb is going to come out. So draw the thumb like this, and then curve it in and out for the rest of the wrist there. That's where the palm is on top. Okay, and it'll make sense in a second. Hold on. And don't put too much detail because you will make it look too rough. But I curve the fingers upwards. There's a little technique that Disney uses, and that's where there's a straight line, on the other side of the straight line is a curve. So if you see the finger here, here's the curve, and on top of it is it's more straighter. So that's a cool technique to remember. And then the next finger is poking out from the side there, straight, and then curves around. See what I mean by curving the tip like that? Don't keep it into a real point. It ruins the whole picture there. And then like they do in like cartoon characters where they don't show all the fingers, they usually join them together, or they hide, let's say, the fourth finger or the third finger. Some cartoon characters only have four, a thumb and three fingers or something like that. Cherry does have all five, the thumb and the four fingers, but I don't usually show all of them. I usually show maybe three of them. The rest are like hiding behind or something, just to make it look more feminine or easy to draw. Okay, so we draw another circle like this, and up here like that, and yeah, this is where I'm gonna add in the first thumb here, and this is we're gonna open her hand out totally, and one finger will fly out here, so I know roughly it finishes here. So I'll need to spread out all four fingers now, the edge here, and then another straight line, and taper it round and down again. Maybe that's a bit too long. We'll see in a bit. Yeah, they are a bit too long, but it's like for a close-up shot, so it's okay. The next finger will flare out even more. You can put some lines like this so that it can demonstrate where muscles are on the hand and the wrinkles that they do when you stretch the skin. But don't do too much, because it'll look ugly after that, because hands aren't that. If you look at your hand, really, you got all these crease marks everywhere for some reason, and fingerprints and stuff like that, and don't draw that. Okay, it doesn't look nice. You look at it, it doesn't look really cool. So I try to avoid putting too many lines, but you do put some, and the pinky here as well. And you can neaten it up after, if you decide to go the length and decide to draw this hand pose. You create your line art and use it. When you see some lines that need adjusting, or maybe some fingers are wrong, you just quickly sketch over it. Doesn't matter, because when you decide to clean it up, you choose which lines you want to use. So this is basically, let's say she's reaching out for something, or something's really high up or too far away, and she's really stretching out to reach it. This is the type of pose that the hand is doing right here. So she's trying to reach out for something, and that's the forearm there, and the bicep at the back and towards the shoulder. Okay, so let me just quickly move this one out the way. But you get the idea of what I'm doing basically. I just draw a basic shape, a basic circle, and I slowly build upon it how I want the hand to be. When I do get confused and I make mistakes is when I haven't decided what hand shape or hand gesture I want to do. Okay, so if I've noticed sometimes when I create my pieces, when it comes to the hands, it's the parts that I dread a lot, because I haven't got in my mind exactly what type of hand pose I want her to do, and that's when you start making mistakes. Not only deciding which shape, plus you gotta know if this hand pose will suit the pose that you've gave her. So let's say if Cherry is doing something, or she's standing or lying down, or I don't know, sitting on the floor on a chair, whatever, and you gotta know if it will suit her. Like in this piece here, I always like to throw the pinky out. Many characters back in the days they do this a lot. Many characters, and I like doing that a lot. So if you see my YouTube videos, you've noticed that she always has a little pinky, flicking out like that, and yeah, so that's what I do. Now, this might not look good on a specific pose that I'm trying to draw, so I'll end up deleting it, redrawing it, deleting, redrawing, then deciding, okay, this doesn't go. So yeah, be aware that you need to, when you're creating your final piece. I mean, don't compare my YouTube videos. My YouTube videos are just spur of the moment. I don't really do a lot of planning for the YouTube videos. I just get up there and just draw, and hopefully it comes out good. But if I'm doing a professional piece where I have to draw something for either a magazine or TV or whatever, then yeah, I start planning everything. You have to plan. You have to make loads of different rough sketches and see what compositions are good and what is not, and then when you create your final piece, you'll have so many references of your sketches that you won't care about mistakes, because you know that you have something to look back at. So yeah, that's what I usually do. Now here I'm gonna make her sort of like, let's say, holding a piece of string, or even a cherry. So what I'm doing here, I do the circle and I'm throwing out the fingers. Okay, so this bit doesn't look right. See, once again, this does not look right to me. The gesture's there, but something's wrong. Okay, because I'm demonstrating now, I don't have the time to sit back and spend a bit of time to look at it and see what's going on. Maybe it's the knuckles, I'm not sure. But that's the basic shape of it, though. Now, what is wrong here? Something's wrong. I think it's I'm not sure. But maybe you guys could work it out because you got the time to look at it. Maybe I'll work it out after I finish the whole thing, and it'll be too late to go back and redo it. But yeah, maybe it's the knuckles. I'm not sure. But for now, that's the idea of how to, if you want to have a character holding something, this is what I do. I basically clinch the thumb and the first finger together, because that's what they usually hold things with. And the rest of the fingers just slowly flare out as the pinky pokes at the top, like that. Oh, I forgot the cherry as well. Let me bang the cherry there. There we go. The cherry is dropping there. All right. Now, okay, that's not my favorite hand pose, but yeah, if I was to draw it again with some time to think about it, it'll come out nice. What I usually do is I stand. I always have a mirror next to my desk, and I always look at my hand, and because if I need it from you see the reflection in the mirror to see what it looks like from the other side and all that stuff, and that's what I do. Like now, I'm just placing my hand on my desk, and I'm actually now drawing my hand sort of thing right now, and I'm trying to like give it a feminine hand, but this is what I do. I draw the circle, and I add the thumbs. That now I'm thinking where the shape of all the fingers gonna be. So this is what I do. I just add them everywhere. Maybe here where I closed the third finger, I should actually bring it out. So I might actually adjust that right now. Actually, let me think. Yeah, I think it's better if I do. So let me delete the little pinky and this line here as well. And let's bring the from the wrist down and out like that. That's where the pinky's gonna be. That's where the other finger's gonna be. And just taper it up, just like that. Okay, and there you go. You got your hand there. Very, very simple. And always shade the finger that's far away. Maybe the thumb should have been a bit longer than that, but no problem with that. The reason I'm raising this finger here, that the tip there, is because usually the middle finger is always a little bit longer than the rest. Okay, especially the longer than the first finger. So have that in mind. Always have references. It helps a lot. It's not cheating. Don't listen to nobody if they say you're copying from someone's picture or you're looking at a model and you're copying her. There's no problem. Even Picasso and Dali and Van Gogh, all those guys who they had references. I mean, that was their job. They How were they going to learn if they didn't, watch people? If you don't look at things, and you will never learn. I guarantee you. So you need to cut out pictures from magazines. I buy fashion magazines because in fashion magazines they really know how to pose their models, the cameramen there, and set the scene and stuff like that. And they play with lights, so you can really have cool references there. And so I usually do look at fashion magazines a lot, or sports magazines where they always have some cool commercials there and different stuff. Okay, just take anything you can and just look at them. Also, I'm subscribed to many art magazines as well, which are fantastic. You'll see some other artists out there in the world, and you learn from them as well. Yeah, everyone learns from everybody. Even I learn from many people. So, yeah, this is what I do. Just the main idea of this part of the tutorial is to understand that always create the circle. Okay, the circle is your best friend right now. The circle that is joined to the wrist, and then add another circle shape where the direction of your fingers will be, and then slowly add the details of the fingers and the thumb. Okay, so let me show you another demonstration here. Another circle again. This is where the wrist is going to be. Bring it down here as well. And I'm going to clench a fist here. So bring in the thumb from this side and add the wrinkle there, and maybe add the muscle part of the palm. The palm is a big muscle there. Always remember that. So when you clench a fist, it squeezes that muscle there. So I'm adding a box this time, as you can see, because that's what it looks like, a big square cube type shape. And then I just draw in the knuckles there, the shape, and then just curl in the fingers. That's all it is. It's really simple to do. I'm not drawing realistic hands like you've seen those artists that draw really beautiful, realistic fingers and everything. But the whole idea here is to keep it still cartoony. Don't go straight away to reality here. The whole idea is to give the impression to the audience so they know what the person's doing, your character's doing, but still keeping your style. Okay, sketch it out. Don't be scared to throw many lines out there. Just throw all the lines until you get that shape you want, and then when you decide that that's what you want, we'll go fix it up later on. You clean it up. So that's how you draw a fist. That's how Jerry. I don't know why Cherry would do a fist. She's not a violent person. Although she likes doing things. The character is like, she'll like martial arts. She likes, she's the daring person. Another circle, and the wrist is gonna be here with the arm, and the thumb goes here, and maybe the top part here. What I like to do a lot when I'm drawing hands is try and keep it as slim as possible. And what I do this is I show the side of the hand like that many times. Okay, so you must have seen me doing this many times. Trying to use the side of the hand as much as possible than showing like the whole palm, for example. What this does, it you give her, it's easier to draw, number one, okay, and number two, it keeps it more feminine. The thinner the hand is, the more feminine it looks. Yeah, unless you're drawing a guy's hand or something, but that'll be another day for another tutorial. As you see, like the top picture there, where the hand is going horizontally across, the one next to the finger that's pointing, that one there. That picture there is in an angle so that it looks thin, okay, which makes it look feminine. Even the hand I'm drawing now, although you can see a lot of the palm, I'm trying to hide it by showing you the side of the hand. The side of the hand shows the width of the hand, so it shows that it's thin and feminine. Even the one next to it there on the right, it looks thinner because I made it more slender than showing it like the first hand I showed you. I show you the whole palm. It looks more elegant that way. Okay, that's the word, elegant. You need to give her that elegant feel to her hand. Um, a lot of people that do ballet, they're trained to do different hand gestures and makes everything look so cool and feminine and elegant. And you can get some good references from them guys as well, the ladies that train to be ballet dancers. Let's do the good old point the finger forward like a gun sort of thing. I've just drawn that boxy shape there, which makes you understand that that's where the fist is gonna be, and drawing the fingers, the little pinky here, and just taper it around like that, and join the wrist here. Always add a wrinkle for where the wrist joins the palm, and that's it for that one. That's how that looks, and shading the inside part so that the main key attraction is the fingers, and that's that one. Now let me try another pose. Let me just quickly move this out the way, put it over here somewhere, and oops, I forgot to, that's it. Now let's draw another circle here. The wrist will be up here like that, and we're gonna give that, she's like flopping her hand down like many women do, and I know that's where the edge is gonna be, where the finger's gonna start. Got the pinky here and another one here like that. So all I'm doing is adding the fingers slowly. The more you draw slower on fingers, the more control you have on the shape of them. If you're like me and you like to whiz through all this, you're gonna make mistakes. I do it all the time. I like drawing fast. I'm a very fast artist. This ain't fast right now. This is very slow for me. I'm doing it for you guys because I don't wanna. I want you to see everything I'm doing. So I usually go like 10 times faster than this. I whiz through all this. I'm like yada yada yada, bang bang bang. Everything's going down, and so this is really frustrating for me right now. But it's easier to draw when you take your time with something. Do not don't go through that bad habit that I go through because I'm an animator, and time is the essence in animation. You gotta draw all those frames per second, and so you're flying against the time. You got the deadline, so animators have to be fast. So that's why we're fast. We're trained to be fast. So that's why I'm not used to drawing such a slow pace. So yeah, that's how. That's a little basic hand there. Now I'm gonna try and draw maybe. Let me draw now this one, another circle here, and the wrist going out like that, and I'm gonna make it like, getting ready to ask for the check or for the bill at the restaurant. So she lifts her little her finger, main finger there. I don't know what the names of the fingers are. Well, I know it's the pinky, the first finger, the middle finger, and the one next to the pinky. So I'm not the greatest guy at, I didn't study in school to remember these names that they I presume my teachers told me like a million times. I was one of those kids that never was interested. All I cared about was drawing, and I didn't. I wasn't those science freaks or mathematicians or anything like that. All I cared about was playing sports and drawing. And in art, though, in the art classes, I used to kill everything. I was like, I was one of the teachers' favorites in the art classes, but that's all I cared about. I always wanted to be an animator when I was a kid, um, and that's what I went on to study, and I became an animator, and I'm also a comic artist now as well, and I create illustrations for magazines, and it's when you enjoy doing something, you're living, your the work you do, it's fun. You enjoy your work. You're not one of those guys that hate to go to work. I wake up and I'm always happy going to work and to my studio that I own, and yeah, this is what I do. I hope this works for all you guys out there. If it's just a hobby that you guys want to do, then it's a fantastic hobby. Now, um, here once again, you see me again drawing the circles and uh, adding the knuckles here and there, and uh, finger going up like that, and so she's basically, this is one post to the other. The post before she was asking for the check, and then she raised her finger up or something. I don't know. Basically it's like a follow up sort of thing. I will be drawing. I will be making animation tutorials for Toonbox Studio. If they are already out, then obviously this was made before they came out, so they must be good. So check them out as well. That's my strong point, is the animation. So I'll show you how I animate things, and this is what I usually do when I sketch out for a comic strip or for an illustration. I'll make a few. So as she was asking for the check or for the bill, and now she's raised her finger up from that. Before I decide to draw the final art piece, I'll have different versions of her asking for the check, or follow-ups as we call it. After she's asked it, then she's gonna raise the finger, then bring it down again, things like that. And then I decide which hand pose I'm going to use for the final image before I actually go into it. So don't compare this to YouTube. YouTube is a freestyle, spur of the moment. I just sit down to relax and draw a bit for you guys and put it on YouTube for everyone to see. When I'm drawing an actual final picture for something, I really need to take my time and study what I'm going to do. This one I'm gonna say, this gesture is gonna be when she's explaining something to someone, or she's in a conversation with someone, and her just women like to use gestures when they speak. I don't know if you noticed that. They like to move the hands around, and I always draw the pinky going up again like this, and showing the rest of the wrist as well, the side of it, like I showed you before. And just throw in a few lines saying, okay, somewhere here is where the finger's going to be. Mickey Mouse does this a lot, actually. So I don't know if you guys obviously have watched Mickey Mouse. Next time you watch him, check him out, or Donald Duck and them lot. They do this as well. The hand that goes up like this, and it's opening out. And if you notice there, I've drawn the side of the hand there, where the palm is. Okay, that shows elegance there, so use that. And maybe this pinky was a bit wrong there, didn't do it correctly, because I'm not concentrating enough. So make sure you take your time and concentrate, and it will become second nature to you guys. But I find it easier when I'm drawing fast to get things correct. When I'm drawing slow, I think it doesn't come out right. It's like handwriting. When you're writing something and you write really fast, for example, and if you got good handwriting, and if you decide to draw it slowly, it doesn't look the same. Drawing Cherry's feet. Cherry doesn't have tiny feet as your regular cartoon girl or lady or whatever. Okay, usually when they draw feet, they make their feet look so tiny so that it looks more feminine and elegant. But in this case, I do keep some features to be kind of realistic. Okay, so basically, if you had Cherry with tiny feet, really tiny feet, then she wouldn't be really balanced out. So I gave her regular size feet, so that, but not like large feet like Bigfoot or anything like that. She has got normal size feet. That's what I want to try to say. And the way I start off drawing feet is I start with a circle, as you saw me do now, and I after you've drawn the leg, of course, the circle underneath is basically the shape of the heel. And what I do after that is I create a shape that is going to be the shape of the foot, basically from the heel outwards towards the toes. And after that, what I do is I add the details for the toes. Now, my basic toe shapes are, this is a regular toe shape, so as I draw a straight line like that and start curving downwards to the tip, what I do there is I curl it round for the tip of the toe, and then just go straight back up again. Okay, toes are not really dead straight. They have bones, like 3 bones there, so it does go through, down, and up again. This is the pinky. That's how I draw the little pinkies. And for the big toe, I basically do exactly what I did with the first toe, but a bit thicker. Just same type of a philosophy of drawing it, but thicker, just like that. That's my basic toe shapes that I do. So if I go back to, let me just move this out of the way. Let me put this over here for now. Basically, when I draw the toes, it depends also on how close the camera is to the picture. So in this case, we're quite close to the foot, so you can draw the toes in to show the details. I usually start with a pinky if it's on the outer side. If we're looking at the foot from the inner side, I'll start with the big toe, and I just work my way around. Now, usually toes, if you have a balanced out toe lengths, okay, usually what happens is that obviously the pinky is the smallest toe, and as you go up, they get a bit longer. Usually the first toe and the middle toe are the longest ones. Usually, if you look at your foot, if you've got normal balanced out shape toes, so it should be normal. It curves around from the big toe to the small toe, just like that. Obviously, some people's toes are different. So, Cherry's toes, they're very balanced out, and have in mind that it starts from the pinky is the smallest, and it gradually gets longer as it reaches the big toe. And after that, you just draw in your ankles and strengthen out the lines. Don't put too much detail because there's no point, because it's just the foot, and the foot is usually a small piece of the body which you don't really see. Now that is quite big. If I was to draw her whole body on top of that foot, half her body will be out of the screen. So we're quite zoomed in right now. So have in mind that the further away we are from the foot, the less detail you put in to the toes. So here again, I'm drawing the leg, and then I've added the circle for the heel. This time she'll be tiptoeing on her toes. And so I draw the shape for the rest of the foot. Once I'm happy with the shape, then I go in and add the details. So I'm just going to, I think I'm happy with that. So this is roughly here is where the toe is going to be. Add in the ankle, and then start off the pinky because I'm on the outer side of the foot. Add another one. Sometimes I don't even put all the toes in. I just I'll make like a shade like that. So in the distance you can tell that's the big toe there. You don't need to put too much detail unless you're really close up. That's what I'm trying to say. Even toenails, I rarely put toenails if I'm not so close up. Okay, so even like now that we're far away, you don't need to put toenails in. There's no point. The audience won't even notice it. So have in mind that's a cool little trick to know, the distance between the eyes of the viewer and the screen or the paper that they're looking at. The further away is, the less detail. Always remember that. For this case though, because I'm demonstrating how to draw feet, they're going to be quite close up, so I'm going to show you how to draw the details in there. Right, so my philosophy is you start off the ball, which represents the heel shape, and then create the rest of the shape of the foot, and then add the toes. and the ankle as well. But yeah, most people, they like to not even draw toes. They just draw the foot going down into a little point. Where, for me, that okay, it might look cool, but it's not that. It's something about it that I don't like personally. Now this is underneath the foot now. So imagine Cherry now walking towards us or running towards us or something. This is more like a walk, stepping forward, and you're looking at her foot from underneath. The camera's looking up towards her. I drew two bulls there, as you can see. One is for the heel, and the other one is like the palm of the foot there. I don't know what that word is, the name of the muscle there, but the palm of the foot. And for the toes, I just draw little circles, and obviously the last pinky, because you can see the whole toe there. You just draw the whole toe there, but the rest is just little balls like that, and just join them with little lines underneath to make the rest of the toe. Try to avoid making toe nails really pointy, and really ruins it. The toes are really curvy underneath, so that's what they look like. You'll find millions of references online for hands and feet, so I advise you to check them out. It's good to learn everything. I'm being serious. You need to know every little detail, but well, the details that you need. Okay, not too much detail, because it's a cartoon. The more detail you put in the cartoon, you ruin you can destroy the image. Once again, here I'm drawing the ball of the foot there, the heel, sorry, and this the next part here. The circle is for the other part of the muscle, the palm. I'm gonna call that the ball of the foot actually, and the back one is gonna be called the heel. Because I know when they teach dancing, they say heel ball change or something like that, and they use that word ball. So I take it that's the ball of the foot there, that circle here. So then after that, just add the toes in like this. Now, as she's stepping from this angle, you notice that her toes are now sort of kind of raised and scrunched up. We seem to do that when we step. We sort of like lift our toes. I don't know if you notice that. And then when you reach the floor, they go down and press, and they squash against the floor. So that's what I do there. Okay, that's how you draw that kind of foot shape. Let me just move this out of the way. If I'm going too fast for you guys, you can always slow this down with your media players that you're using, or just pause and rewind and pause, and Let me try a demonstration what other cartoonists do. They draw the foot going down into a point like that, and and that's the ball of the foot, and they come down to a little point like that. They don't even put toes. It might be just a little dink there at the end, but that's wrong. Okay, do not do that. If you can do that for your characters, but if you're going to draw Cherry, if someone sees that, they're going to say straight away that's not Cherry. Okay, because her feet don't do that. They do that shape, but you need to add the toes, man. You need to complete the foot. So yeah, so basically what you would do is after you've drawn the leg, let's say here, it'll curve down like that, the foot, because I always draw her sometimes tiptoeing because it's very feminine. I drew the ball there for the heel, and as I'm going down, I'm going to create the shape first of the whole foot, and once I'm satisfied with that, then I'll add a bit of detail of the ankle there, and the knee somewhere here, and obviously your legs will be drawn out already for you before you go towards the foot. You always draw the body first, and then the feet and the hands come last, and then you add in slowly the toes. Now I'm going to put all the toes here, but what I usually do is I just draw like I don't draw all the toes. I just maybe draw, let's say, the first the pinky, then a couple toes, after that. And what I do is basically I give the illusion that they're behind each toe, so that the audience can still understand that the toes are there, but they're in an angle. For demonstration's sake, though, I will put all 4 toes. I do not like it like that. That's not my style. But yeah, have in mind that's what I do. Like I did the other toe where it's tiptoeing above there, where I've got the others hidden. That's what I usually do. But yeah, that's what you can do as well. You want to put all 4 toes in there. Now let's try a different style, a different shape this time. Let me think of a decent one. Let's start with a circle here. This time she's stepping on her toes, but this time we're going to be from behind her. Okay, so as she's raised the heel there, add in the ankle and join the rest of the shape there with the circles, join the two lines. The muscle underneath goes in and out. You know how the muscle under a foot goes. And it curves in and comes back out again. Another thing to have in mind is when you're drawing feet, if you look at your feet right now, you'll notice that on the outer side of the foot, it curves round and outwards. It goes outwards, yeah? And the inner part of your foot goes inside. Okay, so always remember that. If you're showing the inner part of the foot, the side of your foot will curve in and then around towards the edge. Okay, and the other side it goes out. That's how the foot is. So always remember that. Curves outside and curves inside from the other side. So let me draw another bull here, and this time I'm going to have a foot upside down for some God knows what reason. So just to show you, demonstrating from different angles. I drew the heel there and the ball of the foot there as well. As we're stretching her foot, she's opening her toes out wide, which means her muscle stretches as well and pumps out like that. And then add the big toe there like that. And add the smaller toe there, the first one. Another toe, curve it in, and then slowly just show the rest. You can also shade it in to show depth, the depth of field, yeah, that they're in the distance. See how simple it is to draw a foot when you add shapes. When you start with circles, it really makes things easier for you to understand where the rest of the picture is going. But the main feature of all of Cherry's features, any character's features that I find hard to draw, not hard to draw, but it's when I lose my concentration mostly, is on the hands. Because hands are completely different from foot. A foot can do like a few things. Hands are very versatile. You can do many gestures with hands, and it has to suit the pose, you know. So I sometimes get frustrated when I am not concentrating because I didn't plan it out. I didn't have a reference there in front of me or something, and that's what happens with hands. So back to here, another bull here, and this time the heel is gonna be like that. And what I'm gonna do here is let's draw the bull there. And this bit of the bull here is maybe too close to the heel, but anyway, it's okay, I guess. I'm going to curve it around like that, the rest of the foot, and have the foot shape now. We've got the foot shape like that. Okay. Add the ankle there, and add the pinkies now, and then the next toe, like that. Curve it. Add another one. Sometimes I might stop and count the toes to make sure I put the correct amount of toes in there. All right, now what I'm going to do now is I'm going to add her a sandal. So she's going to wear sandals. You know the little plastic piece that the toes go in between, that goes there like that, and then the sandal comes at the back. As she raised her foot, the sandal's on the floor still, so she might be sitting and raised her foot up or something, or so that's how I draw her wearing a sandal. You can shade that in as well, just to show the texture on the sandal. So if you wish to draw Cherry's feet wearing sandals, that's how you draw it. Now when it comes to shoes, I never draw my own shoes because I'm not a shoe designer here. So I would 98% of the time I will have a reference. So this is actually another technique I'm using now. It's just going in there without drawing the shapes first. As you can see, it's not so simple. It's easier for me if I do draw the shape first. But I just want to try to show you another technique that a lot of people do like to use. They like to just go straight into it, like that. And I'm just going to draw a regular shoe with the heel And the bad thing is that I'm not using a reference right now, so I'm just going to draw a basic shape for the shoe, and whatever happens happens. But I advise you to use references for shoes. There are so many great designed shoes out there, especially if you're gonna make your character nice and stylish and trendy. You gotta give her the great shoes, shoes that women will go crazy over to buy. Those type of shoes. So I'm just gonna imagine that the heel is somewhere here like that, a nice stiletto heel, and then I know they go like this somehow, and the sole of the shoe goes round like that and comes into a point like there. So that's my basic shoe shape of the sole. Maybe I'm going to thicken it. I think I thickened it a bit too much, but it doesn't matter. Okay, and then that's how her foot will look like if she was, it was laid on a shoe with a stiletto heel. Obviously, a bit of it will come out from the back there. Stilettos do have some kind of straps, if I can remember correctly. Maybe one here, or maybe two. Okay, maybe I'm going over the top here by adding a third one, but hey, why not? Let's make a little spider web type shoes. If you're a girl watching this tutorial right now, you're probably thinking, "Oh my God, what is this terrible shoe design you just created?" Yeah, I know. Forgive me. I'm not a shoe designer. I'm just an artist. So if I had a reference right now, I'll draw you a beautiful shoe. But just for demonstration's sake, to see how the foot will be drawn on a shoe. What I want you to pay attention to is how her foot curves down like that. It's sort of like abnormal there. But women's feet are so trained to do that shape because they walk on heels like all their life, sort of thing, that their foot molds into that shape practically, and that's how I draw it. So okay, that's that handled there. We've got a shoe stiletto and a sandal. This time I'm going to try and draw her cross-legged without doing shapes. I'm just drawing it straight away freely, because once you do practice drawing feet, then you might not need to use shapes, but I advise you to learn to use shapes. I'm just doing this now just for demonstration's sake, how some people draw without shapes. You might not get the look at that. I mean, I'm not a perfect artist when it comes to drawing freely like that. I need to use shapes like my skeleton, and I just build around it. But yeah, that's what basically that's how it's done when you draw without shapes, and that's what it looks like. And then you just slowly go in and add details, and obviously it takes longer this way. With shapes, you can whiz through it so fast. As an animator, like I said, we're trained to draw super fast. So this is not a technique used by animators. Animators will never do this. This is by your regular artists out there. This is what they do. So I don't advise it, but it's still cool if you can do it, and if you can do it fast, then perfect. But if you're new to this and you want to learn a more safe way to draw and gain speed, then I advise you to learn to draw with shapes. So there you go. She's crossing her legs there like that. I didn't like the toe shapes there, so I decided to shade it in, and that's what it looks like. Now let me just move this one out of the way. Oh, we've got so much space. We could do many poses here. Many poses for you guys. All right. Now the next pose that I'm gonna do. Let me think of a nice one. I didn't prepare for this part of the tutorial. All I knew is that I wanted to do a few specific shapes out there that I've done so far. But since I've got so much room and space to draw more, why not? And help you guys learn a little bit more. This time she's stepping flat on the floor like that, and I'm gonna put her other foot going towards to an angle but towards us. Now I want you to see something here. If you notice, it's the inner part of the foot curves in. Can you see that? All right, that's what I was talking about. Because we're at an angle, we can't really see the outer part of her foot properly. But if you were on the other side of these feet, you will see that it was curved outwards. but the inner part of the foot is always curved in. So I'm just going to quickly add now the details. Draw the big toe, and then a couple of toes behind there just to show that there's toes. Obviously this is a sketch, so there's going to be a lot of lines and dark lines and light lines. But as the like me, the guy who's just drawing this now, if you're in my shoes right now, you would know in your mind which lines are the correct ones. So when you come to your line art, you already know which lines you're going to use to clean it up. But for you guys, I don't know if you can tell which ones are the correct lines, but there's so many darkness going, so many thick lines and thin lines, and it's a bit sketchy here. So I don't know if you can see which ones I would use. But the point I want to say is that when you're sketching, don't worry about if it's a bit too messy or sketchy. That's the whole point of sketching, till you get the correct lines. And then I don't want you to be one of those guys that keep erasing and then drawing another line and then keep erasing it out, and then you destroy your rubber and your pen and paper, or if you're using a digital tablet with a program like this, and you keep on erasing, it's gonna take you forever. I mean, it's gonna take you like hours to finish a piece. Like those cherry videos that you see me do on YouTube. Okay, they're not professional pictures. They're just me having a bit of fun and throwing them on YouTube for you guys to enjoy, to see how I draw her. But okay, a professional picture that I will take a lot of time on it. But those pieces that you see me draw on YouTube, I draw them in like an hour. I mean, I sketch them, I draw the outline, I render it, I paint it, and everything's ready for you. Okay, in like maybe even under an hour. So if you're gonna spend a whole hour erasing just a little part of a body, it's a waste of your time. So try to avoid, don't worry about being so sketchy. Like here right now, I'm drawing Cherry lying down with her feet crossed over. Okay. As you can see, there's many lines there, and some are shady, some are dark. It doesn't matter, because I know which one of those lines is the correct ones. So when it comes to the line art, I'm only going to pick the correct part of it. For those of you that don't know what line art is, don't worry. Towards the end of this whole course, we're going to be creating a final piece from scratch. Okay, you're going to see me do it, the whole sketch. You're going to see me how I clean it up and create a line art, and how I color it. So you understand what line art is when we come to that point there. And so that's how I draw her feet cross-legged. So I hope this is all useful for you guys. I wish when I was studying I had something like this to help me. I had to learn by books, which were a pain. Books are horrible to learn from. I had to take seminars and life drawing classes. I paid personal tuition from teachers when I went to college and university, and then finally on the job. So I went the long way around, because them days we never had, there weren't DVDs and all that stuff, and it wasn't so easy. There were DVDs, but it wasn't so popular in video tutorials. There was nothing online for things like this. There was nothing special going on yet. So everything was done in books or taking seminars or something. So this is great for you guys, especially if you're new and you're starting out. It's like a gold mine for you guys, seeing someone draw this for you over and over again. Anyway, I've explained this to you so far. You understand how to create feet. I'm just going to keep going. I'm going to keep drawing feet until I've run out of space. Here I'm just drawing, I'm showing you what toenails look like. I mean, you can't really draw toenails if you're so far away from the picture. It looks weird. I find it looks weird. I sometimes do put them in like that, but to really draw toenails, you need to have a close-up shot. This one, I don't know why, I just don't like it. Although I deleted half of it, but I don't know. There's something about toenails that I do not like to draw if it's not a close-up, if it's so far away. Even this is quite close to us, and I still think that it's not worth drawing the toenails. Although I'm going to leave it there just to show you what it would look like with toenails, for example. But I might even draw another one with toenails just to show you. But if you're going to draw toenails, make sure you're close up so that it's worth drawing the details there. So just okay, by throwing just a few toenails there, it doesn't really matter. But when it comes to coloring that, I could imagine from now that it won't look good. I've even seen those superhero comics, even from Marvel, DC, the legends out there, the best of the best, and when they draw their toenails, it doesn't look right. It looks you've seen commercials for like manicures and stuff. You've got these perfect hands and perfect feet and lovely painted toenails and fingernails, and they look so nice. When you see drawings of toenails and fingernails, something about it that looks so evil. I don't know why. It looks like it's like a wicked witch's fingernails or something. I don't know. It looks off, in my opinion. I don't know about you guys. But yeah, if you want to put toenails, put them in. This time I'm showing you the foot from a side. I'm going to try and draw a more realistic type foot here now, just to show you the difference between the two. I am using a reference right now. I'm looking at one next to me right now, and this is what exactly it looks like. And I started by drawing the heel and the ball of the foot by two circles there, and now I'm going to add in the toes. The big toe is there, and it's got a bit of a muscle there. It flicks back in, and some of the toes poke out from the side here like that, and here. Okay, this is how the reference looks like. Now if you compare this to the feet I've already drawn, there's not much difference. There's not much difference. It's more cartoony, yeah, okay, my ones. But if you notice that Cherry's feet are really close to a realistic foot. I'm trying to avoid giving her the cartoony foot. Especially in pin-up art. If you really like pin-up art and you want to get into drawing pin-up art for maybe a magazine or sports magazines or gentlemen's magazines or something, I don't know, or you want to whenever you want to do it on the web or something, or for front covers of DVD case or something, or posters. You can do so much with make sure you don't draw cartoon feet, and make sure those ankles are nice and small. Okay, we do exaggerate some features. Ankles have to always be small. There's some things that need to stay small, and obviously some things need to stay big. I'm gonna leave that to you guys to work that out, but yeah, so keep small ankles, circles. These are my tips that I'm saying them over and over again so that you can stay in your mind. Small ankles, circles, shapes for the heel and the ball, then create the shape of the foot, and slowly add the toes. Also, the other tip I said before was if you can avoid drawing all the toes, if it's from an angle or something, and you can hide some of them, do that so it doesn't get too messy. I'm already looking at some of my pictures that I just drew there. Some of them do look a bit messy. I could have avoided drawing some of those toes. Now this is a foot that I'm going to draw in front of us, sort of like looking towards us. This is another reference I'm looking at right now as well, and so the pinky goes like that. You saw me now. I did not draw no shapes. I just drew no balls or nothing. I just drew the shapes of the foot. Okay, and I'm just going to add the detail. All right, so this person's toes go like this, and the first toe really is quite longer like that, and this person's scrunching really pressing their feet hard against the floor there. So, and the big toe comes around like that and goes up, and it's got a little bone sticking out there on the side. So I'll take that as from the pressure from the shoes that the person was wearing, and you can put the toenails here like this. So now see here, I could put the toenails here because it's a little bit closer and it's head on towards us. Now when it's from a distance, it's a bit difficult, but you can get away with it. Especially if it's looking towards you, you have to sort of add a few toenails because it will look like little tubes instead of toes. You can't have tubes for toes, so you got to add some detail to show the audience that this is a foot. It's got a bit of shadow in between the big toe and the first toe, so obviously, of course, I just now noticed that big toe and this first toe do have a little gap always in between. You can see a little gap. That's a good point there. I just learned something myself now as well. So just to recap everything, the toe shape is like this. Okay. It curves like into a, it's like a little, it curves down like that. Yeah, that's what I'm trying to say. Your toes, the first bone of the toe is always raised higher than the tip, and this is the big toe. Okay, and if you add a toenail there, it'll be like that. And of course, I didn't like that. So yeah, see, it doesn't look good with toenails. I don't know why, but I'm not a toenail expert. I need references to draw toenails, so I'm just gonna leave it like that for now. Okay, I think we covered everything, so that's it for now. Drawing Cherry's legs and arms, or arms and legs. Cherry does have like a muscular, toned body. So on the arm, I start with drawing shapes again. I start off by drawing the first one, which is the shoulder, then the bicep, a little one for the elbow, the forearm, the wrist, and then going down towards the hand. Just like that. And then what I do is I just simply join the lines in, and from the forearm it starts from the wrist thin, and then it goes thick as it goes towards the elbow and curves in again. Same with the bicep, it curves and then curves around the shoulder. And underneath the same thing, and as it goes towards the body, it has a little like a piece of skin there that folds over just to show that it's this overlapping something there, you know. But that's what I do. It might look a bit muscular, but basically Cherry's body is a toned body. When you see it all together with her actual body, or you've already seen it if you've seen my YouTube videos, it works well. She's an athletic figure. She's not a skinny arm, you know, just like bone and that's it, you know, skin and bone. She does have muscle. Okay, she's an athletic character, and she's an adventurous character that likes to try many things, as you know, any athletic stuff. She can handle anything. You know, she's very athletic, sporty type person as well. And obviously, when you're drawing the body, you draw the body before you do the arms and legs, and that's what I do. That's the routine I do. I draw the body first and then add the arms. So that's what it will look like when it's on there. So then you add in the details of the fingers and all that stuff on the hands, and you know. But that's how I draw the basic arm shape. And I'm gonna bring it a little bit more down now by adding the shoulder, the bicep, and then I'm gonna do a small one here for where her elbow is, going into the forearm, the wrist, and then down for the hand. And then slowly I'm just gonna add in the curves here to join the lines, unify the whole shapes all together to form the arm. Things to have in mind is that from the wrist to the elbow, it starts from the wrist thin. Okay, the arm is thin and it gets thicker because there's a muscle there. Her forearm is muscular. She's got muscle there as it goes thin towards her wrist. And the same thing with her shoulders are nicely curved. All right, she does have muscular shoulders. I don't know why I did choose that, but I believe that all women, even women that are not built, okay, or any sized arms for women, their shoulders are curved. So remember, curving the shoulders is very important. Defining the bicep. Don't go over the top. You know, she's not going to be one of those superhero women where they have triceps and little details everywhere and veins and creases everywhere. You know, avoid that, okay? Because she needs to keep that pin up her sensual elegance and all that stuff. So yeah, that's all I do basically. Drawing arms is easy. It's just a few circles, two for the upper arm, for the forearm, and from the shoulders down as well. There's another two circles, and the little one between for the elbow, just to join them together. This time I'm gonna bring it even more down. by drawing, hold on 1 minute, select the pencil. By drawing the shoulder again, always start with the shoulder, the bicep, the elbow, the forearm, the wrist, and then the hand. Okay, this time I'm throwing it straight down just so you can see what it looks like. Now it should be easier to add the lines and join. It's like joining the dots together sort of thing. See that? I curved in the bicep, keeping the back of the biceps where the tricep is straight but curved. Remember, don't try and do dead straight lines. It is ugly if you do straight lines. Try and curve them as much as possible. Even there where the wrist is, it might look straight there. It might look straight, but it actually isn't. It's actually kind of curved. I draw the pinky there as well. I'm just going to put a few details just for demonstration's sake. The main concept here is the arm. And now, just erase that there. I'm one of those perfectionists. I can't stand seeing things that are not right, you know. So, yeah. So actually, does look good. I'm kind of happy with that. That's the basic arm shape. If I was to add the body as well, so that you can really see it now. Add the chest here. Remember, the chest always comes out as the backside pops out the other side. It gives her a nice curvy body there, and with the arm, it unifies it. So that's how I draw the arms. Maybe I'll do one more actually, just to show the arm going back now. You know, we started with the arm out in front of her, coming in, straightening out, and I'm going to bring it back now. Bit of an animation, you know, test for you guys as well there, just to see what things look like if this were different keyframes. Actually, bring it more here so I can align all the arms together. Alright, now another shoulder here, the bicep, the elbow, the forearm, the wrist, and of course the hand. I might do a fist this time. Just join the dots together. I like that. Join the dots. But yeah, just add put your lines in there to form the rest of the arm together correctly. Since it's clinched her fist like that and her elbow's back, obviously you curve a little bit more the bicep there, but not too much. You don't want it to become Rambo. And add the fist. And there you go. Yeah, looks kind of good. Right, now you can add a bit of detail there where the elbow is. Add the rest of the body so you can see what it would look like. Now where the shoulder is, I always had a shoulder, what do you call it, the what's that bone behind the shoulder called? I forget that name. The shoulder blade, basically, behind which is a little bit below the shoulder, but behind it, the shoulder blade. I always poke a bit out there on the body. I show a little poking bone there. You can see it, and they're like there. I always poke it out a bit so it's not dead curvy round. It shows that there's a bit of bone sticking out. Sometimes it's good to add a bit of anatomy, correct anatomy to your artwork. It just takes the extra distance. So that's how you draw Cherry's arms. Okay, really simple. Stick to your shapes, and now let's draw the legs. The legs, same kind of concept. You draw, let's say, the shape again of the thigh, and then you add the. Actually, no. Let me start from the back side. This will make more sense for you guys. So imagine this is the back side where her hips and her backside is, and I'm curving it down like that. This is the shape for the thigh. Okay, that's where the belly is there and the thigh. This is the shape for the knee. Another shape here for the calf muscle, for the rest of the shin there, and then the heel. Okay, and you just add in the lines, curve the kneecap out. Okay, and there's a little technique there. A lot of artists, especially in Disney, they use this, where there's a straightish type line. The opposite line is more curvy. So if you look at the thigh, it curves outwards, and behind the thigh, it curves. So it's more straight. and then it goes opposite. The shin is straight, and the calf muscle is curved. So it gives that snakish type flow to the leg. Okay, she does have muscular legs. I maybe have done her thighs a bit too thick, but the main thing here is to show you, because I don't have much room here now, is how I use shapes to draw her legs. Now, you're probably thinking now, yeah, but usually her legs are a little bit longer below. It's the illusion of her foot, basically. Because her foot is flat, it doesn't make her leg look so long. When she points her feet out into a point where she's on her toes, the line of her shin continues down, and it gives the illusion that she's got really long legs. And in fact, that's what women do look like. When you see some women out there and they've got nice long legs, actually they don't. All right, it's just the illusion that they're giving to you by wearing their heels. Because when they're on their tiptoe, imagine that if you stretch your leg out and lift your foot up, okay, it will look shorter than if you stretch your foot. The line continues. They use this type of technique in dancing as well. When you see contemporary dancers or modern dancers or ballet dancers, they play around with lines. They really stretch out their hands, their fingertips, their feet, their toes to make themselves look longer and more elegant. That's the tricks between how to draw legs. Depending on the situation of what she's doing, if you can try and extend the feet in the same direction where the shin is going, then her leg will look even longer. That's why sometimes people say to me over on YouTube, I've seen messages that they say your legs they're so long, but in fact they're not. They're actually in correct proportion. It's just that I extend the toes. So here again, this time she's sitting on the floor and feet are flat down against the ground. I started with the circle for the back side, and then created another circle for the thigh, little one for the knee, the calf muscle, the rest of the shin, and then down to the heel. It's exactly the same technique that I use for the arms. Here again, I'm adding the thigh muscle, the knee, the calf, the rest of the shin, and then down towards the ankle and the heel. And all you got to do now is just add in the lines like this. Curve the kneecap, remember that. And then the thigh is always curved, okay, and it's more flat underneath. Although it is kind of curved underneath, but it's more flatter than the upper part of the thigh. I do excuse me if I am talking too much, or this is gonna be a long course. So far, I don't know how long it is so far. I can't see the timer here, but you can tell on your players. But I wish I had someone to talk to me for hours. When I was starting out. I hope I'm not boring you guys by talking too much. If I'm talking too much and you can't stand it, just turn the volume down. But I'm doing this for you guys, so you can. I want to make sure you understand everything. So yeah, this is how I draw my legs. Shapes. I've been saying this from the beginning of this course. It's all about shapes. Shapes is your best friend. When you learn to draw with shapes, you'll draw more correct proportions, and you'll learn to draw faster as well. So yeah, one more go then. Then we'll finish this part off and go to the next stage. We'll be drawing poses. This part here, this time I'm gonna make her, kneeling. So as I'm drawing her thigh there, I'm gonna bring it back to the line for the rest of the shin. And another one there for where the end of the shin is, going towards the ankle, and just join the lines. Now I want you to pay attention in this pose here. When you see the kneecap, okay, as I curved it round, it doesn't go straight into the shin in a straight line. The kneecap actually curves round, and even a little bit more round, and it goes up before it starts going into that straight line where the shin is. Okay. If you notice your knees, they do have like a big bump on the front of it. If you can close your leg as if you're kneeling as well, you'll notice that your kneecap goes round, but it's kind of thick on the bottom. It pokes out a bit. Once again, use references. Check out my book on the website on poses. I've got so many poses there, and I've got a few more ebooks I've created on poses, which I haven't put on my website yet. Maybe I will do down the line. If you guys really like it, then let me know if you like the poses. You'll be seeing some of those poses on the next part. Sketching out the poses. I'm using now my ebook that I've created for many poses that I've created for using for Cherry. Now, what I'm going to demonstrate here for you is how to sketch out little poses. So what does this mean? I'm not creating a final piece here. This isn't going to be like a gorgeous drawing that I'm doing here. This is just a quick and rough quick sketch of a pose. All right. And in this case, we're going to be doing standing poses. And what do we use this for? Once we've created our pose, we then put it to the side and use it as a reference to our final picture. Okay. Now in this case, we're going to practice drawing many poses: standing, reclining, sitting, and kneeling poses. You know, these are the main poses that we use in our artwork. So these are great stuff. If you can see here, all I'm doing is using circles, and that's it. That is it, you know. And then just joining some lines up, just quickly like that, just to show you how I put things together, just to create a quick pose for my artwork. This is probably one of the most important parts, if not the most important part of drawing, is sketching out your poses. Okay, so what you're going to be seeing me doing here right now is I'm actually looking at my ebook that if you haven't got it, you can get it on my website, where it has all these poses in there. So many poses. I can't even remember how many. I didn't really count them. It's over 100 poses, maybe even more than. I can't remember. I'll count them and maybe add the number in the brief there for the ebook, which is free for all you guys to get. If you haven't received it in the email or anything like that, you can easily get it. But what I want you to pay attention now is, okay, I've showed you how to do all the features on the face, the hair, I've showed you how to do features for the hands, the feet, the arms, the leg, the basic body shapes. Okay, now you're going to see me in action, how I put them all together to form a pose. Okay, now I'm trying to draw as slow as possible. Usually, okay, a quick pose like this, for example, like this one here, it will take me about a few seconds to draw it, like about 10 seconds to draw the whole thing. I'm drawing nice and slowly for you guys so you can see how I'm putting the shapes together from start to finish. Okay, and after I've drawn like many standing poses, we're going to go to the next category of poses, which I haven't decided which one's going to be yet, so you'll find out at the end of this. And after we've created all the poses, I'm going to pick one and we're going to use it for the final drawing a final piece. So pay attention right now. This is very important. This is actually one of the most important parts of the course that I really want you to concentrate on. This is what's going to make you different from other artists, is having poses, understanding poses. I've seen many great artwork out there, and even artists who are better than me, they can draw better than me, but they fail on some things like posing a character. If you cannot pose a character, then you destroy the whole thing. Now, I'm not your everyday, famous or something pin-up artist, because I'm an animator. That's my job. I like to bring characters to life. So one day I want to bring Cherry to life. I want you to see her one day moving, talking, and everything. So this isn't my first language, for example. Other artists who are pin-up artists, they do this every single day for their whole life, and probably for the rest of their life. They know how to do these things better. But there's some people out there that, have been doing this all of their life, and the one thing they can't do is pose a character. Now in animation, because we're playing around with frames and keyframes and stuff like that, it's all about posing in animation. Uh, if you watch a cartoon and you turn the music off, and if you can reduce the speed as well to make it nice and slow, you will see exactly every single pose drawn out for that cartoon. And that's why animators do have the upper edge on other artists, because they know how to act, they know how to animate a pose. Okay, these poses are not your everyday poses, they're animated poses. Okay, this is what they're called, animated poses. And this is what I want you to really learn. Okay, if there's one thing I want you to take away from this course, it's this. Okay, learn to pose your character. Even if you're not the best artist in the world, as long as you got a great pose, you will attract the audience. Remember that. So, a little bit about this standing poses. As long as it's kind of balanced out, doesn't matter if it's the proportions are not exactly correct. If, let's say, the head is too small, or if the arms are too thin, or the legs are too thick, doesn't matter. This is meant to be a sketch. Okay, that's the whole point. It's a sketch just to throw the layout of the pose, so that when you do start drawing the final picture, you just got something to look at. Okay, you know, okay, this looks good, I'm going to use this pose. And then okay, I drew it wrong in the sketch. The chest should have been a little bit more out or a little bit more in. The thigh is too thick, as I can see from here already. Doesn't matter, okay, because when you draw the final art, you're going to do it correctly. And this is the beauty. This is probably my favorite thing about drawing, is the beginning, when you just go let your hand just fly through, and express itself. So yeah, right now I'm looking at my ebook that I have opened on another computer. um this ebook is probably the pose bible, or this is your bible for posing. And I'm giving this to you guys for free. I believe every artist out there, especially you guys who really have supported me on YouTube and helped me support the Cherry course here as well. I want you to, this is like my thank you to you guys. I'm giving you this special pin-up poses, and I want you to really cherish it and look after it, and learn as much as you can from it. And I hope you guys do well. And and I'd like to see also your artwork. If you want, you can. I wouldn't even mind opening like a little an online gallery of of all you guys, and I can show the world what you guys have done. And even if you want to draw Cherry, and send it in, I'll have it online for everyone to see. I'll even make a YouTube videos of your artwork, and it'll be great. I wanna join the whole community together. And my goal is not basically in YouTube to make, one of those guys that are trying to get like 1 million subscribers and become YouTube partners and get paid in that program. I don't really care about that. My main goal on YouTube was to create a fan base for Cherry. I wanted to get Cherry recognized by the people, so that because right now we're in the middle of discussions with a few people now to creating a franchise based on her. And with your help, it can become a reality. There's been talk about her for graphic novels for iPad and Android and iPhone applications. There's been ebooks for her. There's been graphic novels being discussed about. There's also been like webisodes. Someone actually asked me to create webisodes based on her. Which will be awesome to do, but it's not going to be easy. It's going to take a lot of work, and we need like perfect animators for this, that that can draw her correctly. And but can you imagine having her on the internet? Webisodes on her. That'd be awesome. Anyway, and that's my goal basically from YouTube, is just to advertise her and get her out there. And obviously for you guys to buy her, buy this course, it means you really enjoyed watching me draw her. And you like the character and you want to learn. So I appreciate that. And I want to thank you guys for purchasing this tutorial. One day, if Cherry ever becomes a famous, the next Barbie out there or something, then I only have you guys to thank for, because if it wasn't for you, you guys, this wouldn't be real. And if it does become famous one day, you can tell your grandchildren sometime that, yeah, I was a part of this. I was part of the one of the team that helped this venture grow. So I just want to give something back to you guys, and I hope this course is. It's gonna be so many hours. I could see from now how long this course is gonna be. It's gonna be huge. So I hope that this course is. I hope you enjoy this course, and I hope you learn from it. So I would like to hear your feedback. If there's anything else if I missed something, I don't think I've missed anything. I've been trying to study what I was going to teach you guys, and if there's anything else you want to learn, I've already have a list of like about 80 different lessons that I want to create for this for the website for Toonbuck Studio, and we're going to be covering other software as well, and we're going to be covering 2D and 3D animation and modeling and all that stuff, and Photoshop tricks and After Effects. We're gonna cover the lot here. Maybe even multimedia that a lot of people have been writing to me, because I do have a multimedia background as well, and yeah, comics. I really want to get into the comic, try and teach comic strips as well. So if this is the first tutorial of toonbuckstudio.com, so I don't know what year this is now. If you're watching this in the year 2000 and I don't know 20 or something, then obviously these videos must have been created by now. So if not, have in mind this was the first video. So the guys who bought this for the first time in the first year, then you understand what I'm talking about. So yeah, let me know what you want me to create for you guys, and there will be some free stuff as well. I'm always thinking of new things I can give out for free that can help you guys and bring an extra attraction to the market and to Toonbuck Studio. And let me know even anything to do with if you're into electronic devices and you want to see stuff like applications for the iPad. And I've already have many emails asking about if we can create Cherry as an ebook for the iPad and the Android, which I haven't agreed yet, because I want to know from you guys if it's something that you guys would like to see. I know it's something I would like to see, but it's going to take a lot of effort and time, and for me to be able to do something like that, I'm by myself here, so I haven't got a team yet. So hopefully, if this is successful, then I will bring some of my buddies from back in the days. We still work together in animation studios and the comic industry and stuff, and hopefully we'll form a team and create many things for you guys. And I am in the middle of talking with a few. I won't name the names out there, but big names of artists out there who are very talented, and most of you who are involved in arts should know them already. And I'm not going to name the names. I can't do that so far, just in case things don't go right. And they'll be offering their knowledge to you guys as well, hopefully to make this a cartoon boot camp online, and for all you guys that want to really learn. We want to show you stuff that you might not learn in school or university or something like that. We want to show you stuff that you'll probably learn on the job. Basically give you the advantage to some people out there who don't have these opportunities. So back to this, a little bit more. What can I say? A little bit more about posing. Like this one here, she's gonna be like standing and holding onto like let's say a bar or a chair or something. She's like leaning against something, sort of thing. And if you notice, I start off with a triangle for the chest there, and a little circle for the belly, and another round circle for her hips and her backside there, and I'll slowly add the leg. Now obviously you can see the leg on the left there looks wrong because it's behind the thigh, but the point is that I want to draw her leg behind her. Is that her left leg that's in front? That's her left leg that's in front, so I want the right leg to be behind it. That's the thing I wanted to show. so that if I decide to draw this as a final art, I'll know. It's like I'm telling myself, hey, this is my notes, and my notes are saying to me, make sure you draw the leg behind the left leg, for example. And then I take it, and when I start drawing the actual thing, that's when I really concentrate on how I'm going to do it. But yeah, don't go crazy, don't go nuts about drawing like little details. I'm just thickening the lines out here just for you guys, just so you can see it clearly, because I'm not sure after when I render this if it's going to be so clear as it's clear on my screen right now. So I'm just going to leave it like that for now. Hopefully it's clear. It should be clear. But anyway, and yeah, this is the main thing. You need to figure out what scene you're going to create. Is, let's say, Cherry going to be doing some gymnastics? Is she going to be joining a yoga class or something? Or, then you're going to think of the environment there. She's going to be in a gym. Okay, so in the gym, there's going to be like props in the background and stuff like that. There's going to be weights, going to be mats. There's going to be like, I don't know, some sponge balls. Or I don't know what they use in yoga. I never did that. All I know is that they say namaste or whatever. And then you got to decide, okay, what's Cherry going to be doing there? What kind of pose is she going to do? Obviously, she's going to get into a yoga pose or a warming up pose. I guess they do warm up before they start doing all those amazing moves that they do, and things that I can't do. So, so once you decide what you want her to do, you got to decide what pose fits that idea. Okay, so if you have the idea, you need to find the pose. So then you find it like something athletic, something bendy, something, And at the same time, you got to think, okay, it has to be also kind of sexy, yeah, because that's what pinup is all about. So yeah, and then that's when you start, all right, if you have my ebook, you can easily find maybe about a few poses for that scene. Okay, I've got so many in there, it's amazing. And have in mind, I have more ebooks that I've created on poses. I didn't create them for the public. I just created them for myself throughout the years, But if you like the ebook that I've given out to you guys, once again, if you haven't got it, then go on my website and you'll find it there on toonbuckstudio.com, and it's free. If you like it and you want more poses, you feel like, I don't know, 150, 200 poses is not enough for you, then let me know, and I'll throw in the other ones as well. Why not? And I just want to make you all happy. Okay, so if you guys are happy, then I'm happy. So basically, you find the pose, you draw the yoga pose, and then you're ready to start. You're creating your final art. So yeah, I'm drawing loads of poses here. I haven't stopped going yet. I'm just drawing and drawing and drawing. I don't know how long it's taking me to do all these poses here. Normally, I told you it takes me about 10 seconds each one. So in about a few minutes, I should have done all these, and it'll be done. But the more you practice, the faster you'll get. Okay, the more you practice, the faster you get. There's nothing to it. It's just practice. I am using a Cintiq. For those of you that don't know what Cintiq is, I advise you to go to the Wacom website, or Wacom website. I don't know how they pronounce it in the US. In English, it's Wacom. In the UK, that's how we pronounce it. I hope you guys can understand my accents. I'm trying to stay away from the typical English accents so that the people from the USA can clearly understand me, and because I know it's kind of hard to understand each other's accents and stuff. I'm trying to talk as clear as possible. If I am mumbling a bit too much, or I'm saying some words that you don't use in your country, let me know, or something, and I don't recognize which words some countries don't use. But yeah, for those of you that don't know what Wacom tablets are, it's basically a digital imagine a pad like the iPad. You guys seen the iPad, yeah? Or an Android pad, those are Samsung Galaxies and stuff. Like that, you can draw on top and stuff like that. Okay, well, a tablet basically is like an iPad, and whatever you got this digital pen that when you draw on the tablet, it goes straight into your computer, and you can basically open up your program like I'm doing now. I've opened up Sketchbook Pro, which is my favorite
Sketching software is my favorite. It's like my right arm. Um, I do strongly advise you guys to check this out. If you don't have a copy of this, it's not expensive. It's actually very, very good. The price is amazing. It's value for money. You can get it from the Autodesk website or even on Amazon.com, and it's very affordable. And for what you're getting, it's value for money. It's unbelievable. Um, and all the tablets work with it as well. And basically, the difference between a Cintiq and the any other type tablets out there is that the tablets that a Cintiq is, it has a screen. All right, if you got YouTube open right there, just type in Cintiq with a C, Cintiq, Cintiq. Is that how you spell it? I think that's how you spell it. And search it there. You'll see a demonstration there from other people. And it is expensive. It's not cheap. But it's probably the best piece of hardware that I've ever bought in my life. I started off with a 12-inch one, and I went to the 21, and I just now purchased the latest one as well, the 24-inch. And they're amazing. It comes with a screen, and whatever the computer is showing, it shows it on the screen, and you can draw on the screen straight away. If you don't understand what I'm talking about, just go onto YouTube and search Cintiq, or go to the Wacom website, Wacom website, and you'll see all their different products there. I hope you're listening to this, Wacom. I'm advertising you here. And you need one. If you guys don't have any of these things, then not even a basic tablet, then doesn't matter. The good old traditional pencil and paper is, it's been there for so many centuries. Why not even now? You can still follow this show. So yeah. So that's what I'm using is Cintiq and Sketchbook Pro, which is my two favorite tools for my artwork. I do use other software as well, but since I laid my eyes on the Sketchbook Pro, it's been my favorite so far. It is a new program, and it's developing all the time. They've got great designers and programmers there that are creating software for all of us. And the good thing is that they are, besides talented and at creating the software, they also love to hear feedback. So if you guys want to speak to them, and they'll listen to you, they like to hear your advice on if something needs to be, if you like to see something extra or something to be changed a bit, or if it's something that the whole world is asking for as well. For example, I would have really liked it if Sketchbook Pro had this like a selection tool where you can select a part of a drawing, and you can color within the selection tool, like other programs do have. Like I said, it's a new program, and it's amazing what they have achieved so far. I mean, even on the iPad and on the iPhone, on the Android, you can download this software. You pay for it on the App Store, for example, and download it to your device, and it's amazing with the finger, or you can even buy little tiny pen styluses to draw. But yeah, that's one tool I would like to have, is a selection tool, like a lasso tool, where I can select a piece of my artwork and then color within, or draw within, or do something within. The option for masking would have been really cool, because basically the main concept of Sketchbook Pro is to sketch. Okay, it's a sketchbook. Okay, it's like a digital sketchbook. That's the main idea of it. But they have now noticed that you can do so much with Sketchbook Pro that it can actually, do damage to to many other competitors out there. So I don't see why not. They deserve to go the limit, and they got my vote. And I'm a huge fan, and I'm always going to be a huge fan of Autodesk. I used a lot of their software. They have another software which is really cool. I might actually do one day a really cool little course on that one. Is Sketchbook Design, or Designer? What's it called? I think it's Sketchbook Designer. Okay, Sketchbook Designer is a designer's right hand. It's all vector based and it's similar to Illustrator, and I believe that if Autodesk really concentrates on combining Sketchbook Pro with Sketchbook Designer together, they're gonna blow minds away with those two. So if you're into vector art and yeah, a lot of architects use it as well. They like to demonstrate drawing their models they want to create. But if you want to draw, let's say if you want to take Cherry after this, after you've drawn her, and add vector lines to her, then I advise you to import her to Sketchbook Designer after you finished your final piece to add the line art. It's amazing. I do that, but I try to avoid adding vector lines to Cherry. I do use it for other characters, but rarely for Cherry because I like giving her that sketchy feeling to her and the sketchy look, and keeping I think it's warmer. The colors look warmer and the lines look warmer when they've got a pencil feel to it than that strong dark black vector line, or it loses it. I think it's like when you see the old traditional cartoons, like Bugs Bunny, Donald Duck, and them lot, and the Smurfs, and those famous cartoons that we all grew up with when we were kids. And when you see today's cartoons, everything is now like vector based, and it's still beautiful, it's still gorgeous, but it's not the same.
Sketching out the poses, the sitting poses now. Sitting poses can be fun because you can study using different types of props. You can either use chairs, a stool, a bench, or rocks, or the floor. You can use anything. It's interesting a lot because you can use this for nearly any type of scenario. If your character needs to be sitting somewhere, or at a bar scene, or in a seminar somewhere, or on a bus, anything you can think of, you can use these different types of poses. Drawing this cross-legged pose here, and just throwing in some shapes. That's what I'm doing here right now. The feet are gonna go somewhere here like that, and even though that is way out of proportion here, but doesn't matter. The point is that I want the legs to do that, and the arms to be crossed as if she's sitting down, and really she got told off by someone, or I don't know, she did something wrong, and she's really upset that that someone put her in her place. And so that's the kind of pose this is for. It's not exactly for Cherry, it could be for anything, so any type of character. So sitting poses, you can really play around with poses and different props, and you can even use her for your logo. So take my toonboxstudio.com logo. You can use different sitting poses, such you can be sitting on top of the logo or on the writing there, or you use different poses for sitting poses for different types of projects. So have that in mind, that that's quite a cool idea. I might actually do use Cherry for maybe the logo. We shall see, maybe in the future. This pose, I'm going to have her sort of like sitting, but also kind of leaning against, let's say, like a wall or something, or or she's on the floor and leaning against the bottom of the sofa or something. I don't know. That's what I want to try and point out, is that you can really play around with different aspects of her here, and play around with the props and combine them together, and I believe you can create some amazing pieces. Another good thing about sitting poses is that you can also use animals, like if she's going to be riding a horse, or I don't know, if you want to really go and make a funny comic, like she's like riding a dolphin, or some kind of shark. She's got some evil shark, great white shark, and it's like she's using it as a pet. She's like flying through the ocean. So you can play around with comedy. That's the whole beauty about
cartoon pinup art is it can be silly and exaggerated, and you got two types of pinup art in this world, and one is the competition between artists and on how they draw realistic pinup art women, and what they do is they usually have a picture of a model or something, and that they had done for them or something, and well, they paid the model to do some poses for their work, and their goal is to do an exact replica of the photo. And what they do is they're really talented artists, and they've got the skill to create the whole photo into the digital world, and when you see the final outcome, it looks so realistic. um, and then you got the other type of pinup artist, which is the type of pinup art that I do, and it's cartoon pinups. And you need to have some humanity and realism in there, but try to still keep that cartoon style to it. And I think the cartoon style is the more fun. It's something that everybody can relate to. Even the younger generation who maybe are not allowed to see these type of artwork, cartoon pinup art can still get away with that more than a realistic pinup art, because it's like seeing some kind of it might be too much for let's say a 12-year-old to see. But yeah, so cartoon pinups are a lot of fun. You can really go the limit, go the length, and extend it, go the limit. What's the word for that, to express that? Really, you know, go the extra limit. That's what I want to try to say. Like I said before, like imagine Cherry riding a great white shark. I mean, like, that'll be kind of funny to watch. Actually, I might do that one day. I mean, you'd expect her to ride a horse or a stallion or a unicorn or something like that, but a great white shark. I mean, come on, or a big fat turtle or something. That just came out of the ocean and stuck, and she sits on it and she's waiting for it to move, and it's not moving. That'd be kind of funny, picture to see. Um, if you have a character in mind that you want to create, and you're, after you've seen this course and you've taken a lot of different techniques and tricks and that I use to do my characters, and if you take a few skills here and there from here and you decide to draw your own character, and you finally created one, uh, another piece of advice I can give you there is, if you have any friends that have similar body shapes to your character. All right, I mean, Cherry's character's body is exaggerated. I mean, no one's waist is that tiny, and long legs like that. Like extreme long legs and huge lips and gigantic eyes. No one's got pink hair. Like no one's got the whole package. They might have something. All right, they might have a skinny waist, but they don't have the curves for the hips. But I'm just saying, if you have a friend that is very close, has a few of the features that would be great for her to model for you, what you can do is select a few poses that you like in my ebook, and ask her if she can help you out and like a favor, and if she can pose for you, so that she could be your reference for the future. And if it's successful, then you can have her as a full-time model for you, and say, hey, can you quickly come over, and I need some help, and I've got some cool ideas I want to do, and I need someone to pose for me. You're the perfect girl for my character. That'd be great. Unfortunately, I never had that. I can't think of anyone that is has. She's a very extreme character, Cherry. So I can't find anything that's similar to her. Body wise, I can find many people that are very close. Have roundish hips and big bust, and have got reasonably long legs, and they're nice and toned. But face wise, it's very difficult. Her character reminds me a lot of her personality. I mean, reminds me a lot of Anne Hathaway. The famous actress that did the Princess Diaries and Ella Enchanted and all that. She was great, and
That kind of personality is the type of personality I want to give to Cherry. That little clumsy. She was athletic and you know she's fun, funny, and that's for me is the perfect character for pinup art. Okay, so Anne Hathaway is actually, I don't know if she knows this or not, but she has the perfect personality and facial expressions as well for a pinup character. I wouldn't be surprised if that's the reason why they chose her for all her the movies that she creates is because of that personality that she gives out, that clumsiness. And actually, I heard that she had an interview for a movie and she fell over her chair whilst in the audition, and she screamed out while she fell down. The cast, everyone there couldn't stop laughing. They just automatically said, "Okay, she's the perfect one for the show." So yeah, that's the type of personality I want for Cherry. That kind of character I want. The only way I can prove this to you guys is if I create an animated version of her, so you can see her in movement and how she talks and the things she says and things she does. Yeah, I could show it through pin-up art as well, but it'd be more effective if she was animated. So maybe I'll try and launch an animated short on either on YouTube or on the website here or something, and just something fun and funny for you guys to see. Um, but yeah, references and friends. If you have friends that look the part and they can help you out, then that'll be perfect for your designing. The character design part of the stage is probably the longest and the hardest part because it's never ending. Things will change all the time. Her hair will change, her hairstyle will change. You might change the color of the hair like I did. I found out that the cherry red color wasn't good enough, and I thought maybe enhancing it to a brighter cherry color would be even better, and I believe it suits it more. And she might be the next Pink Panther out there. So far, the color pink was represented by the Pink Panther. But I think it's time for this century to be taken over by Cherry, and hopefully we can all together we can do this. Sitting poses, as you can see here, you can really it's very close a sitting pose to a reclining pose, because she's on the floor or something like that. You can really get that naughty pin-up positions that the audience want to see. As long as they're kind of clever, the poses are clever. You can really give the message to your audience. Have in mind your audience, what they want to see is very important. What we usually do is we draw what we want to see. Okay, let's say what I want to see, I usually draw. Now that could be okay if you have the same taste as everybody else, but what you need to do is really find out what the rest of the audience really want to see. That's why I love hearing people's opinions. That's why I like receiving feedback and seeing what people want to see. And I get to, slowly I get to understand my target audience. But I've noticed that I was kind of lucky because my target audience and me, let's say you, for example, and me, we have very similar taste. So, I mean, usually all the feedback have already been given is something that I would like to do as well. So that's a cool bonus for me there, because I know that whatever I will draw is not something that the audience will not want to see. It's something that we all want to see. So have in mind that as well is a very good little tip there for you to before you start drawing. Have in mind, if this will work. Sitting down poses, you can also play with the expressions on the situation. Standing poses, if you think about it, when a human being is usually standing, it's either to do a few things. You're either running, walking, doing something athletic, I mean. Or if you're simply standing, you're probably just waiting for something. You're either in line waiting for something, or you're at a bar and there's no seats to sit down and you have to stand up. Uh, Majority of the time of the day, you're usually either sitting, lying down, kneeling. Basically, yeah, that's it. If you're the majority of the time, if you're not, that means you're moving. You will not stand up 24 hours of the day. It's impossible, man. It's too tiring. You will be moving the majority of the time if you're standing. So that's why I'm always saying that standing poses are not so versatile as the reclining ones and the sitting ones, because the majority of the time that's what we're doing. I mean, you might see millions of pin-up poses, even drawings of pin-up poses, or photography of professional models, and they're standing. But that's a pose. Don't forget that. That's just posing for the camera. An actual animated pose. If she's standing, then there's mostly the chance of her will be that she's either moving or doing something or waiting, or so yeah, having that in mind, that reclining and sitting poses are probably the most popular. After this, I actually will do some more poses on from behind, how she'll look like from behind if I was to pose her. Something that a lot of people forget to do. I find it challenging that there hasn't really been books that are really effective for learning to draw, because to learn to draw, if you're not seeing it with your eyes, you're not really learning. I mean, okay, you can read about everything, but if you're not seeing someone in action doing it, you're not going to learn. So I might use that as a challenge, like a little challenge one day. I might challenge myself to see if I can find a way to create a book that actually does, teach someone how to draw. Try and really be effective on that, so that no matter, basically, when you're reading a book on how to draw, if you have questions at the end of each chapter, that means you did not learn what you're meant to learn. Okay? Always have that in mind. If you still have questions, that means the message did not get across properly. Now, I might not explain something perfectly on this video, but at least you get to see me in action doing it. Okay? So if I missed something, if I didn't explain something, or I forgot to say something, there's a little detail here and there that you would have asked me, but at least you got to see me do it, which my actions taught you what you wanted to learn. Now, if you're to read about me doing all this stuff in a book, in like a step-by-step thing, step 1, draw this, step 2, do this, and I'm not telling you how to do it, I'm just showing you an image, yeah? There's got to be a more effective way to create a book, which I'm going to actually find a way to maybe challenge myself to do it, and hopefully if that works, then I'll get rid of that typical routine of a headache that everyone's going through throughout all these years. I mean, I hated it so much when I was a kid. I had so much passion, I had so much energy to learn, and I wasn't getting anywhere with books. So, and thank God for seminars and voluntarily working for other companies. And that's how I learned. And thank God for you guys. That you guys are living in an era where the internet is actually a full-on tool for everybody now. So, in my time, when I was a teenager, we had internet, but it wasn't as popular as it is today. It wasn't so rich with content as it is today, or user friendly. It got better slowly, years late, a decade later. So I was unlucky. I wish I had something like this course to help me out when I was a teenager, or in university, or something like that. Or even if you're not a teenager, even if you're in your 30s like me, or or if you're gonna hit your 40s, and it's just, you want to learn, it's still no problem. I understand. We never had this one in our time. So yeah, this would be cool for you guys, and I hope you enjoyed this and you learned a few things from here. What else can we speak about whilst I'm going through all these millions of poses that I'm drawing for you guys. I bet you've never seen so many poses in one video before. But yeah, I mean, it's amazing how many poses I have here, and it's good for referencing for you guys. And more questions and answers, I guess. Is a lot of people ask me what is that logo on toonboxstudio.com, and a lot of people ask me, who is this character that you use there? I mean, why do you have this silhouette here, and the orange, and what made you decide to do that? In fact, if you really want to know, that character in the box that you see in the Toon box, the black head with the big white eyes and the pink little nose, that is one of my famous characters that I draw in one of my comic books. His head shape is exactly like that, and he's basically, that's a silhouette of him. It's about a group of boys who, in their everyday lives in school, and it's basically a one-page slapstick comedy comic strip. And I've done so many strips based on these guys, and I've been selling them to my local newspapers and few countries in Europe where I've been licensing it out to some people who wants to distribute it over there, and I will be creating tutorials based on them, how I create them, and how I make comics based with them, which is something you're going to find very interesting. I will be introducing you to them sometime. If that time is already here, then you already know who they are then. But yeah, they were my first comic characters that I ever created that were very successful, and something that are dear to me, and really changed the course of my career as well, and brought me a nice income as well, because I deserved it as well, for all the trouble I went through creating this, for all the children that and adults that, but mainly children that read the comic strips, and I used the basic head shape as my logo, so that maybe one day you might even see them in 3D. They are actually 2D characters, and I'm actually discussing with a few co-workers about creating them into 3D in an animated educational series. So have in mind that might come out, and I hope it does, because there's something that I spent a long time creating them, and those characters, they took me actually a couple of years to create, and then came Cherry, and now it's Cherry's turn. So yeah, that's how the Toonbox Studio came up. Why the orange colors? And I like black and orange. I think those two colors really stand out. If you look at my logo, the eyes of the character really pop. Yeah, so that's it for now. Now let's go to the next stage. Sketching out the poses, reclining poses. Reclining basically means lying down, for some of you that don't know what that means. When the character is lying down. I hope you guys, I know that if you are actually artists that are studying to become artists, for no matter what type of category of arts, if you're going to become an animator or illustrator or something like that, then you understand the importance of this part of the course. For you newbies out there, the new guys, the beginners, if you find this a bit boring, sketching out poses over and over and over again, I'll understand that, because I remember when I was a beginner and I had to do my life drawing. There's a course where artists have to do when they're studying, where they place a person in the middle of the room, and you have to draw them in different poses. And yeah, well, I used to find it so boring, and I didn't think I needed to do it. But without this, you're basically on level 1 still. I'm being serious. You can appreciate this later on down the line. But for you guys who understand art and have been through this process, and I know you understand the the, the how good and how effective learning to draw poses is, and you practice drawing the proportions and the features banging into place and stuff. So yeah, newbie guys, the beginner guys, if you're a beginner, and trust me, you're not gonna regret this in the end. You will thank me one day. I hope this inspires you as well to go and take some classes as well of life drawing, and have some real models in front of you, whether they are nude or not, to really show you how a body looks like. And usually they change different people all the time so that you can learn different sized people. And what I usually do, I take life drawing classes every blue moon, but I do go. Like every year, I might go at least once or twice. I've done many. I've gone like hundreds of times in the past, so I don't really need to go all the time. I've passed that stage, but I do go as any time I can make it and I can go, I will go, just to freshen up my so you always observe something different. So yeah, take it on and go and check them out, and it's really cool. What you're seeing now is I just drew a line, a curvy line, and that's my directional line. What that means is basically I want my character to follow this line. Okay, so I want her to be lying down, reclining like this, but I want her to be following this direction. Whether this direction is correct or not, I want to try my best to make her follow this curve. Okay, that way you keep her symmetrical in a way. She stays level. Okay, so that's another cool little technique there for you guys to use the lines. I know many artists out there do use this little technique. They will, even if the character's in an animated pose where they're running or something, they throw these lines there. They say, okay, I want this person to be along this line, this horizontal line or vertical line or a diagonal weird squiggly line. They want to do that. We were taught to use this when we were drawing our keyframes in animation, pitching out the poses. Let's say we want to exaggerate a pose. Let's say they're throwing something and you want to really stretch that arm out, and there's a shape that you want to create so that it looks so realistic when to the audience that they're actually throwing something with all their might and power behind it and everything. Yeah. And obviously in cartoons we try to over exaggerate it, take the next step. We usually use these stretch lines. There's like these like a little contour line, with a directional line that you try to follow. And if you take any animation courses or seminars, your teacher should show you these little things. They're like basics and stuff. How about we talk about now a bit about questions and answers, or questions and answers, as we say in the UK. Q's and A's. A lot of people ask me, especially on my inbox on my YouTube channel, how do you get inspired to draw a specific scene of Cherry? Well, something that most of you don't know is that I get a lot of feedback from people that want me to draw something for them. For example, some people might say to me, hey Paris, can you draw Cherry doing this or that? And if it's convenient and it's within the boundaries of my rules to pin up art, like if you want me to draw her, for example, I don't know, sitting down watching TV, that's not for me something that is relevant to a pin-up art. I'll have to really sit down and think of something ridiculous to be able to twist that idea to make it into a pin-up picture. But if someone told me, for example, draw Cherry, at a, I don't know, at a karate lesson, okay, and she's wearing some sexy karate suit in a way. I try and make the suit, the karate gear, to look kind of more sexier than the normal karate gear. And she's trying to do some karate poses and stuff, which doesn't look right or something, and it makes it look, kind of cute. And obviously, you should be flashing a few things here and there by doing a mistake of a move and stuff, and things like that. That's how you play around with an idea. The main thing is I want to try and the things that I haven't done on YouTube is shown my real work, where the stuff that I don't show at all because it's stuff that I want to save for future things. The YouTube videos that I create are very simple stuff and basic poses and basic scenarios that have been done before and stuff like that. And well, some of them have been done before, not all of them. But the real stuff that I draw when I really do pinup art, I'm saving this for like a book that I want to create, and maybe a graphic novel or something like that. And yeah, but that's how I get inspired, is mainly by some people's ideas that they throw at me. You might think of something that did not cross my mind, and say, "Hey Paris, can you do this like this?" And I'm like, "Hey, that's a cool idea. Why didn't I think of that? Why not?" And then I'll sit down and do it. Otherwise, what I do is I base a lot of things with my everyday life, like my friends, for example. 'Cause all my friends are goofy. Okay, they're really goofy people. They're really humorous people. They're not those boring type guys that have nothing much to say. We all talk about politics and cars and stuff like that. Nah, we're not like that. We're the type of people that like to laugh, or laugh, as you say in the US. We like to crack jokes all the time. We like to be silly, do goofy stuff, just tease each other and things like that. We try to be as immature as possible so that we can live a longer, fun, happy life. And I see things that we do and say, or I might see someone do something stupid, and I think, hey, that'd be a cool idea if I could put it in a cherry pinup sort of thing, things like that. Inspiration also comes from other things that you might see or witness, or even a commercial, or something that happened in a magazine, or a case that might happen in a movie or something. A lot of my expressions that I think of, I do copy from movies. I might be watching a movie, a cool movie. It might be funny. It might be a chick flick. It might be a mafia movie. It could be anything. It could be a superhero type movie. Anything, an adventure movie, whatever. If I see something that I thought, hey, the way she expressed herself there was kind of cool. I like the hand gestures. I like the facial expression. I'll pause the video or the DVD. All right, and I just sit there and I just quickly sketch the expression, and then press play again to continue the movie. Things like that inspire me a lot. But I buy loads of magazines, and I've got friends who own different types of businesses. Who some are like I've got one friend of mine who's a very, very good hairdresser, and she's a very talented hairdresser, and she has loads of magazines and sitting there on her table. Whenever I go, and I always steal one or two and just copy something from there. And those hairstyling magazines, and things like fashion magazines, like I've said before, are very good as well. Plus, watching other artists, looking at other artists, see what they do, maybe do it better, or maybe take something that they've done. No one's 100% original. They've all been done like a million times. One person said to me, "Hey, I've seen one guy do this pose. Hey, I saw this other guy do this pose." And I'm like thinking to myself, "Hey, what's going on here, man? These poses were around before we were alive." If you go all the way back to the Renaissance and all them guys, and even Da Vinci, all them, everybody, Van Gogh, Salvador Dali, these are my favorite artists in that era, Renoir, and these guys, they've been doing these poses centuries before. Even if you go to ancient Greece, okay, and ancient Rome, if you see those statues that they have, man, it's like all the artwork there, they've done these poses before. It does not belong to nobody in this century. And whoever says that it belongs to a specific artist is not very educated at all. I don't know where they went to school or what they've learned all their life, but somebody's got to help these guys. They do not belong to no one. They don't belong to me. Even if I make something like even this pose that I'm doing here, and if I decide to do a beautiful cherry pinup pose based on this pose I'm doing right here, this pose I'm doing right here is actually a yoga pose. Maybe you didn't work that out, okay, but it actually is, okay. So imagine if I decide to make an amazing cherry piece based on this, and it becomes famous and everything. Everyone's gonna start saying, "Hey, that's the Paris Christou cherry pin-up pose, man. You copied him." And it's like, no, you haven't. This pose has been around before even yoga was around. I don't know. This was even in Kama Sutra. I know you've all seen Kama Sutra books. Everyone has. I've checked them out because they've got some great poses in there. Not for any other reasons. Cough, cough. But they've been around, you know. So that's another answer there for that kind of question. Another funny question I get a lot, actually, it's probably the most common one I get a lot, is that on YouTube they ask me, how come you have a pencil instead of a mouse? The cursor. And they're like, I've been trying to change my cursor on Sketchbook Pro for every day. I could not find it. And, how did you do that? How did you do that? Obviously, I've been answering that question throughout all the comments on different videos. And probably that guy who wrote the question didn't see that comment answered on another video or something. But this cursor does not belong to Sketchbook Pro. It is it's part of I'm using Camtasia to record my videos, and it has an option in the software that you can change the cursor to so many different things. And I chose this pen here, not for me. When I'm drawing, I don't see the pencil. I don't see the pen at all. It's just a little dot, as it is in Sketchbook Pro, and that's how I want it to be, a little dot. So I don't want no pencil in my way, because I'm using a digital pen, the stylus pen. So, but when it records it, and then once I save the video, that is what I see, is whatever direction my mouse was going. It's the cursor is a pen. So that answers that question as well. I'm pretty sure that one of you guys must have thought this as well. How did he get that pen? And I had that question as well when I first saw a few videos, not on Sketchbook Pro, but on other software, when I saw the pen, and I was wondering how that happened, and I guessed it was something to do with the recorder. So when I started, purchasing all these different desktop recorder programs and software, I was checking out, see if they had a feature with that. And Camtasia has it, and I've tried so many different products, and this was my favorite. It was Camtasia, and does stuff that others cannot do, and I'm really satisfied with it. So that's that question answered for that. That's that one for the cursor. Okay. So now a little bit more about these poses. You see me drawing here just a few shapes, a few naughty shapes as well, which you can judge me all you want, but that's what pinup is all about. Obviously, you shouldn't be offended because you already know this. That's why you got this program, because you want to learn to draw pinup characters, and they have to be a bit naughty or seductive, or that's the whole attractiveness of the whole show of drawing pinup art. But yeah, art is beautiful. You shouldn't get offended from art. They've been doing this even back in the days when they were worse than pin-up art today. So they used to really do provocable stuff in them days, and so why not today? If you look at my reclining poses, in my opinion, they are the best poses, are the reclining ones, because it's more versatile. You can do so many things. And no matter what pose you do when it's reclining, it always looks good for a pin-up pose. If you got an IQ above a potato, you understand why. So, yeah, yeah, basically because it's a very provocable, very seductive position that the character is in. So no matter what pose it is, it will always look sexy to the audience. And that's what you want in a pinup. A pinup to be successful, it has to have a bit of sexiness in it. Now, Cherry, in her case, is no matter what she does, it looks sexy. And I'll tell you why. Because she's very innocent, she might do poses that you would never do yourself. For example, she might be lying down on the grass. I don't know. She can even be like a tomboy, yeah, or she can even do childish things, things that only babies would do. Okay, and she gets away with it because that's her personality. Her character has that childishness in her. So even the most silliest thing that you will make her do, it will look sexy on her. It might not look sexy on Jessica Rabbit. It, Jessica Rabbit, she's more the elegant type. She's she's the sophisticated look. She's like the hot mama of the show. You expect her to do stuff that a young I don't even know how old Cherry is. I don't know whether she's in her 18, 19, 20s, early 20s. I don't have a clue, but she won't do things like that. All right, those stuff are done by other type characters. Every character's got their own little thing going on. So yeah, so that's another thing about drawing reclining poses. They're my favorite poses because I know you can never go wrong. And yeah, so I hope you're enjoying this. I hope you're learning something from this. Please take it really seriously. This part, I really do mean that. You will understand later on in the future. Um, Let me put this over here. Okay, we've got space for one more, I guess. All right, another question, last question, I guess, to answer is characteristics. Some people ask me about characteristics, and a character must have some trademark characteristics. In Cherry's case, it's her beauty spot under her eye. When you see that, you know it's Cherry. It's her cherry red hair, which has changed throughout the time. It started off as cherry red and became more towards pinks and fuchsia. Uh, that's her trademark as well. And her big lips, these are her little trademark stuff. It's just like, Bugs Bunny's grey color and his carrot, and it's like Donald Duck's blue little hat and Popeye's pipe on his eye that's half closed. Every character is like, whenever you see them, you know that's them. Yeah, and I could draw another guy with a pipe in his mouth, but yeah, he doesn't squint that eye and have that pipe out his side of his mouth and the big chin and the white sailor's hat. Then it's not Popeye, you know. So things like that. Every character must have a couple of things that when the audience sees it, no matter how you draw it, they know straight away. Okay, that's Cherry, yeah, or that's whoever, what character is being drawn here. Uh, so, well, I don't know what else I could think of other characteristics of Cherry. I haven't really given her a specific outfit as most characters usually have, like Mickey Mouse. He's got his red shorts, and Donald Duck has got his blue top, sailor top, and you know, Daisy's and Minnie's little bow on the head, and things like that. Or Papa Smurf's red hats, from the Smurfs, and she doesn't have a specific outfit. Her main concept is pink, color concept. So there will be pink in her colors, different shades of it. But I try to not give her a specific outfit because I want her to be more versatile. It's cool to actually do give them an outfit, but or play around with the colors of the outfit. So if she's wearing, let's say if she was wearing all pink, then I could wear shorts or t-shirts or underwear or skirts. Things will be pink. So yeah, so basically the main characteristics are the beauty spot, the big eyes, the big lips, the cherry hair, and that's it. And the color pinks. These are my basic shapes that I use for drawing my body. I just want to make sure you guys remember that, and hope you enjoy this part. And we're now off to do the other poses now. So let's close it here and go to the next part.
Okay, sketching out the poses, kneeling poses. Okay, so in this part, you're going to see me doing exactly the same thing as I did with the standing poses, and this time it's going to be all about how I would sketch out poses when she's kneeling on the floor or whatever surface she's going to be kneeling on, whether it's at the beach or if it's at the yoga class, like I said before, or you know, and just add the shapes. You know, really simple here, and I'm not going too much into detail. I don't really care about detail at this point. I'm just deciding, you know, what her gestures are going to be and which direction she's going to be looking, where the body is going to be turned, you know, and things like that. Obviously here, she's got both arms in front like that, and coming down. Also have in mind, okay, this is a good example actually. I was actually going to draw the arm going one way, but I just decided to change last second the direction. When you're drawing kneeling poses or any other pose really, have in mind, okay, without sounding a bit rude here or not, you know, there are some features on a woman's body in a pin-up piece that you need to show, yeah. Okay, for example, her backside or her chest, and you know, the things that the audience love to see. That's the whole point of pin-up art, you know. The lovely long legs, or you know, the hair. Okay, there's some part of the hair that they want to see, you know. So when it comes to arms and legs and you know, things like that, you need to make sure you're positioning the arms and the legs in a certain way so that you do still see something. Yeah. Now I might draw her many times, like, you know, nude, naked and stuff, but if you notice, I try to avoid showing many things as well, because that's the beauty of pin-up art, is when you don't show everything. Some things need to be a mystery, yeah. As much as I'm probably going to disappoint many people out there, but yeah, Cherry will be, you know, should be hiding the most of her private parts, you know, so that, you know, you can never see them. So maybe on a special anniversary one day I might, you know, but I doubt it. I want to, you know, keep her, you know, user friendly for everybody to see. So have in mind that it also is the same case with the hair. Let's say she has a fringe or a piece of hair that drops on the front of the face or behind, whatever, and it covers the eyes or the nose or part of the cheeks and stuff like that. You need to find a way to not destroy her expression, not destroy her facial features. Okay, there's some things that you need to show, like the lips. The lips are a main part of her face. The beauty spots under her eyes, another characteristic. Her gorgeous big eyes, you know, things like that. If you're going for a specific expression, and your hair is covering half of that, your audience might not understand exactly what you wanted her to do, okay, or what is she actually looking at, or you know, things like that. So always have in mind what you want your character to do, and figure out how you're gonna pose it, okay, and where you're gonna lay things out. I mean, look at this arm here. It's so long, but who cares? It's just a sketch. We're just, you know, the point is I want her arms raised up. Yeah, maybe I should have squashed them up a bit more, but it doesn't matter, you know. So as you can see me now, I'm just, you know, drawing, just sketching out. And all right, so whilst I'm doing all this, maybe I'll start talking about, maybe, I don't know, maybe introduce a bit more about how I got started in all this. And basically, how I got started in drawing is I first found out that I liked drawing when I was when I was probably like 2 or 3 years old. This is what my parents say to me, that I used to get the pencil and I used to try and copy whatever I saw on TV. She said that when I was 2 years old, my mother said that I started drawing stickmen. You know the stickmen where you got a little round dot for a head and you got this line going down for the body and 2 lines for the legs and 2 lines for the arms. The stickmen, yeah. Well, my mother says to me that I used to love drawing those, and for some reason I cannot remember drawing them. I remember drawing them in school and stuff, like pretending to do some kind of like a world war with stickmen. But I don't remember doing all these little things. And oh, if she says so, then okay, that's what I did. She did say one thing to me. Even my father and my sister said this to me. When I was around 3, 4 years old, I started drawing E.T. I had this thing about E.T. I used to really like E.T. and it was actually my first ever real character I ever drew. And then, after that, what I used to do was, once I started understanding that drawing is cool and fun and I can do it, and then I started drawing all my favorite cartoon characters I used to watch on TV, like all the Looney Tunes and all the Transformers and the Thundercats and all that stuff, and I used to love drawing them, and the Disney characters as well, and that's when I knew that I wanted to be an animator or some kind of cartoon artist, whether it was comics or whatever. As long as I had to draw, I knew that when I was a kid that's what I wanted to do for a living, is to draw. Okay. I have done multimedia, which includes web designing and graphic designing and all that stuff, which for me is great, but my true passion was to draw cartoons and stuff like that. So anyway, after when I was a kid and I started drawing all my cartoon favorite characters out there, and I was actually creating little comic strips that were based on those famous cartoon characters I used to watch on TV. They weren't great, as a child, though. When you see a kid drawing it, though, like 5, 6 years old, and if you see a 5, 6 year old drawing cartoon characters like that, you think, wow, this kid can draw. It's not bad for a kid, And then slowly, as I grew up, the good thing about me, the advantages that I had was I've got a very good eye. I can see when I'm doing something wrong, even if I'm lazy to correct it. I know I've done a mistake. A lot of people don't see that, and that's because they haven't trained their brain to recognize what something really looks like. Okay, it's like when you draw a triangle or a circle. If it's not a complete, symmetrical circle or a correct triangle, you know straight away that is not correct. Yeah. Because your brain knows what it looks like, and it's telling your eyes, you're doing it wrong, and your hand does it wrong, But if you know what it looks like, then you take your time to draw it. Then you start making things look more correct, yeah? So that's when you have to train yourself to observe things, okay? When you observe things and you learn exactly what they look like, then, like this drawing here, I can see the calf muscle. When it connects, it's basically connecting to the ankle there, which is wrong. I know that. I don't care. It's a sketch. So when it comes to drawing the final line art for this, I'm not going to draw it like that, obviously. But I know these things, So these are little techniques that you need to train yourself observing. And anyway, so this was an advantage I had when I was a child, and I tried to push myself to try and see how other people were drawing, and I used to try and copy them. I even remember I used to put paper on the TV screen and try to trace characters from the TV, which didn't work, by the way. It did not work at all. But tracing, some people say tracing is cheating, but actually they're wrong. Tracing is probably the best way, okay, to learn to draw. Alright, because let's say you take my Cherry character and you want to learn to draw Cherry exactly the way I do it, exactly the way Paris Christie from Toonbox Studio does it. Well, take a paper and put it on top of my drawing and start drawing all the features the way I draw them. Your hand is going to start learning to follow those lines. Okay, you're going to draw the eye shape, and you're going to know exactly how the eye shape is drawn after that, because you traced it. and you're watching your hand do this movement, and believe it or not, your brain is registering those movements. Okay, and then slowly, if you do it like 100 times, I guarantee you're gonna end up drawing exactly like me. So or if you want to learn to draw like some of the most famous comic artists out there, you're gonna learn to draw exactly like them. And that's what I used to do when I was a kid. I used to buy comic books, and I used to trace Superman, I used to trace Spider-Man and them guys, and I used to go nuts. And I started learning to draw what they used to do. Anyway, so by the time I became a teenager, I developed some skill, and it was not perfect, but it was quite good for my age at the time. And when we had like holidays for, like, say, the school holidays, like Christmas holidays and summer holidays, Easter holidays, and any type of holidays I can get, or some weekends, I used to go to animation studios and or graphic design illustration studios and advertising companies, and I used to sit with them, and for free. I used to volunteer for free just to go there and just learn from the great, from the professionals out there. And I learned a lot of stuff from all these famous animators in the UK, and they were I hope they're all well, and for giving me these opportunities to, no one's gonna say no to you. If you want to come there and say, hi there, I'm a kid at school, and I want to learn, and I'll come for free. I'll do anything, even just sharpen your pencils for you. I'll do anything for free. I'll even make your coffees for free. Things like that. Doesn't matter, because you're going to be watching them in action. That's what I used to do. And then suddenly they started giving me a few frames to do for them. And I was like, 13, 14 at the time. And that was great. So by the time I became 17, 18, and I had to go to, a college or a university, I had a superb portfolio to show. I was like 10 steps ahead of any other teenager that was going for a university application there. I received 4 unconditional offers from universities in the UK, just because of my portfolio. Now, if I didn't take out my time to go and learn, I would never have had those opportunities. So as other kids would decided to go and play, and all right, I did have my other life as well. I used to play a lot of soccer, martial arts and stuff like that, and music, and I even joined dance schools as well. And in 2001, I became the UK salsa champion, and I've achieved many things and different other stuff. But whenever I had time, my main priority was art, and animation was my thing, and that's how I got started. And when I went to study, and I learned from great artists from around the globe, and people from Disney came, and people that worked for Disney, they worked on some feature movies, and they were our teachers at the university, and comic artists and 3D animators, and it was amazing. And it's good to have people like that by your side to guide you. And so hopefully with this course, there'll be loads more courses, and I'm going to try and make smaller courses, because I know these ones are quite big, but because it's Cherry, it's a special character to me. I want to make sure you guys get everything from this course. It's going to be so many hours, and I hope it's worth it. I hope you enjoy it and learn from it. And if there's any questions you need me to answer or help, or don't hesitate to send me an email. Just or on YouTube, write me a message, a personal message, and I'll answer it. If it's not answered in 24 hours, it means I have either something to do that moment, or I've got loads of emails in front of you or something, and I'm going one by one, or I'm probably sick in bed or something. But I answer them. I will never leave one person behind, never. And don't feel that you're gonna be annoying me or something, disturbing me or something. Don't think that. I really, really enjoyed people's feedback. I like to listen, and I like to read and answer people, and I like communicating with all you guys, especially if you're artists out there, and you're really taking these things seriously, and you really want to learn. I'm here. I like to be a mentor one day, to try and help all you guys out there. So well, that's a little bit about me. That's how I got started, and I went on to do animation. And after many years of working in the animation industry, I also did a comic book designs for local newspapers, and that was fun as well. I've also created a comic book, which I cannot announce at this present time because I'm in the process of maybe launching it online, and but you guys will hear about it first. No one else will hear about it before you guys, and I will launch it on the website here for everyone to see. They're quite fun characters, and there's a lot of comedy and slapstick, and it's really cool. And besides that, pin-up art has always been something I used to really like watching, especially watching great artists back in the days, even from my grandfather's days, like in the 50s and 40s, and superb artists from there as well. And I've always liked drawing pin-up art, and I never ever thought of taking it seriously. But Cherry was designed a few years back, and believe it or not, she has changed every year. Every year she's changed ever since I drew her, and this is how she actually finally looks, and this is how she's going to finally stay. That's the whole thing about processing a character and designing a character. And even if you take Mickey Mouse, he's changed so many times, and they all have. Even Tom and Jerry, they've changed so many times, depending who was like directing, or every character changes. And if you take a character and you draw it, you try drawing it again, it won't look the same. And I decided one day I was on a vacation somewhere. I cannot remember where. Which I was some island in Europe, and I don't know which island it was. I cannot remember where, but I remember I was at the beach and I was drawing her, and she just came out really, really good. And I thought, wow, okay, I like this, and I'm gonna try and keep it like this and try and develop it. Even on YouTube, if you check out the first video all the way to the last video, you're gonna see her develop even more. Right, if you take away the first ever video, that was like a mistake. That first video, that was just a test to see how to use Camtasia and all those Cam Studios. I was testing out so many recording softwares out there, and I was never satisfied, and so I wasn't really concentrating on drawing. I was just quickly sketching out. And but as you see her gradually throughout the series, she does change a lot in small little tiny details, and then slowly forming to the person who she is today. And yeah, so that's my story. And right now, my next goal is to create this develop Toonbox Studio, which is my company, and my animation studio basically in Europe. And my goal is to create an online cartoon boot camp for all of you out there, and hopefully maybe later on have some kind of like maybe an online connection through the website, so that I can actually speak with you guys, and I can guide you more, and maybe teach one-on-one, or maybe seminars or webinars as they call it today. I thought that's kind of cool, webinars and stuff, and that'd be awesome as well. So if you guys are interested in something like that, then let me know, and I can help you out here as well. Pardon me. And yeah, so what else can we talk about here until we finish drawing a few more here? Maybe draw one more or two. But can you see how many poses I'm drawing here? It's amazing, yeah? So this is all out of my ebook. It's an amazing tool. I wish I had this when I first started drawing. And these are all my poses that I've been drawing throughout the year. So every time I drew a pose or a main drawing or something, I used to always save the little pose sketches I used to do, and I decided one day to draw them all out and perform it into a book. And this is what I'm looking at now, and very handful, very, very handful. This is all for you guys. You can keep everything, and you can do whatever you want with it, and hope it helps you out. If you want to make a copy for your friend, copy out for your friend, and it's no problem, or tell them to come and get it on YouTube. On YouTube, on toonboxstudio.com. If you want to help out with supporting Cherry, if you really adore her and you appreciate what I'm doing here for you guys, and plug her all over Facebook or your social networks, what you're using, or Google Pluses and all that stuff, your Twitters, and you can embed all the videos in your stuff. Help me out to spread the word worldwide, and even the affiliate program. If you want to join the affiliate program and help out, that's cool. Sketching out the poses. This time it's going to be our final poses, the poses from behind. I think it's very important that I do show you how to also pose a sketch from behind. You can play with shapes here and try to avoid, keeping her dead straight. Try as much as possible to move her. For example, where the shape is where the chest is, or the back, you can move it more to the right, and the shape for the back side, move it more to the left, just to bend her around a bit, so she gives out that curvy pose. It gives more personality to the pose and more flavor and better color, and so try and avoid keeping her dead straight, no matter what she's doing. Even if she's standing straight, try to bend her a little bit, just to show a bit of a feminine feeling to her pose. There are many scenarios where you can use a character to be posing from behind, and pin-up poses that from behind do look very, very effective and very pleasing to the audience, no matter what the scenario is. And you will find it at one point if you are going to draw a story about a pin-up character, and posing her from behind is a very good thing to learn to do. So do practice this as well. So this is going to be our final part of poses, and I hope this is good enough for you guys to practice. And after that, just take my ebook and just sit down by yourself in your own time and practice drawing every single pose. And before you know it, you're going to be a pose expert. Anyway, and after this, we're going to sit down and finally take every single thing that we've learned so far from the first second that you open this course up to now, and we're going to create our final sketch, and then we're going to take that sketch and clean it up and create our line art, and then we'll go into paint the whole, color the whole character, and or render the character, as many artists will say. It's also called rendering when you're coloring them, or I like to say paint them or color them. And that's where at the end you're gonna really enjoy watching how I finally put everything together. That's probably my favorite part as well. When I actually get to demonstrate how I'd actually draw her. For you guys, the whole thing in one. I already have in mind what pose I'm going to be using. You're going to see that after this, and you're gonna like it. I believe you're gonna like it. So, and then I'm going to show you how I color her, and probably show you a couple techniques on how I go about coloring her. Might even I'm going to also show you how I maybe a little small 10 minutes or 15 minutes clip on how shading is done in Sketchbook Pro. Is completely different from any other. This has the same philosophy behind it, but as other software, but it doesn't have yet. It's something that I hope I've heard in the grapevine that they're going to actually the next version of Sketchbook Pro. They're going to have a great blending tool, and although they do have some blending tools, and they're not as effective as I wanted them to be. So I've developed my own little technique. So I hope the guys at Autodesk, I know they have the talent to really create some really good blending tools for blending color. And
but don't worry, you're gonna like my technique. It's easy to do, and it's quite fun as well. It's very creative. Um, Talking about coloring is one question I have read, actually, and heard from many people is when they see my. For those of you that don't really know who I am and haven't really seen my professional work, the only things that you can relate to me with is the videos I have done on YouTube. So or any other future tutorials that you have seen on Toonbox Studio. But the question I get is, why is it that when you color cherry, you don't really put so much effort in color detail? And basically what they're trying to say is that basically the picture in the final outcome is not that photorealistic kind of painting done to the drawing, which is true. Um, Basically, the style that I use for coloring cherry is very simple. And the reason is because I want to keep that cartoon style to it. I don't want it to become very three-dimensional. I don't want it to become too realistic, because then you go into a different level after that. And I do photorealistic painting. I will create, if it's not already up there, I will create in toonboxstudio.com a tutorial on how to really do photorealistic artwork. Now here I've just drawn you now demonstration of what I meant before about moving the shapes around. The first one is dead straight. Okay, can you see that? They're all symmetrically down. The second one, the second pose here I've bended it. I've moved the top part of her body to the left. I've shifted it a bit, and as you can see, it's more curvy now, and it looks better than a body that's just straight up. It's very boring. It's ugly. It's you didn't put effort there. So go the limit. So anyway, back to what I was saying is about when I'm painting cherry. I've created a little style for myself that I'm really happy with, and it's very simple to do, and I believe it's very effective for the style that I'm trying to penetrate to the audience. I keep it very simple. Even if you take other cartoon characters that are very flat, the colors are flat. Cherry's colors are not 100% flat. They do have a little bit of lighting on them, a little bit of shading, some reflection shines on her as well that you've seen on YouTube. But that is all I do. I don't want to really put so much detail, although I know that realistically there should be, yeah. But doesn't mean I can't do it. I do this all the time for fashion magazines. I've done touch-up work for some magazines, like men magazines and stuff, and I did this for a full-time job as well. But it's not my favorite thing in the world. But superhero comics, though, they do put a lot of effort in their rendering, in their coloring, and very talented artists, color artists. There, they put a lot of effort in. Even the little tiny details, the creases, everything has light. They really play around with light and darkness and shadows, and it forms that three-dimensional look, which is beautiful. I will do, though, I promise this to you guys, I will be creating if it's not there already by now, I don't know what year you're looking at this video, but this present time doesn't exist. So I will create a detailed video on how to color a picture in a very realistic, photorealistic style. Just to if that's the kind of thing that you want to learn, I'll create it for you guys and just let me know. But yeah, but for cherry, I keep things very simple, and I believe it's beautiful like that. It's my style that I really love to do. Also, depending on the situation, it depending also on how far away or how close she is to how Cherry is, how close she is basically to the audience's eyes. If she's like zoomed in, then yeah, I'll do my best to create a very detailed rendering there, a very detailed coloring outcome. But if she's like in the distance somewhere, or if you've got like a big picture of a background, and you know, and she's walking in this background, then I'm not going to put all that color detail on her if she's so small, because it'll be a waste. You won't be able to see all the details. But if it's like for a front cover, let's say I create a book on Cherry, and I'm creating the front cover, then yeah, then I will have to, you know, it's gonna be the front cover. It has to be beautiful. It has to be perfect. I would consider, you know, doing a very good coloring, detailed front cover picture. But besides that, yeah, I like to keep things simple. You understand later on when I'm showing you how I'm doing it. It's a cool little style. Some of you must already know these things if you're an experienced artist. If you're not, or if you are and you haven't done this style before, then hey, it's going to be great for you guys to learn this as well. But in comic books and stuff like that I use, well, actually, the majority of my comic strips that I've drawn so far, they're very childish comic strips, which are very flat colors as well. So Looney Tunes style, you know, very flat colors and not too much shading here and there, just where it needs to be. And but yeah, that's the reason why I do that, and I hope that answers the question to some of you if you had that on your mind, why are things so simple. When it comes to backgrounds, also I have questions on backgrounds. A lot of people on YouTube, they've asked me every day when I wake up, the first thing I do is I enter my inbox in YouTube and on YouTube, and I see if I've received any personal messages or any comments on the videos, or any personal emails to my email inbox or something, and I do my best to answer everybody as quick as possible or during the day. And a couple of times I've had some people ask me, why are my backgrounds for my YouTube videos of Cherry so plain and simple, and you haven't really put effort in the backgrounds, and you know, things like that. And they said to me, you draw such a beautiful character. Why can't you draw backgrounds? You must be able to draw backgrounds if you can draw a beautiful character like that. The answer is basically, yeah, I can draw backgrounds. Backgrounds are not that hard to do. It's very simple. The reason I don't do detailed backgrounds for Cherry is actually 2-3 reasons. One of them is basically I don't have the time. Let's be realistic here. You know, I've got my everyday job as well, and my family and everything as well, and I don't have the time to draw even the backgrounds, because backgrounds take a long time to perfect. There's so much things going on in the background, details, and to sit down and draw all that will take me quite a long time, and then you guys will also be waiting even longer time to see a video. And plus YouTube have limits on their videos. You know, I've got so many minutes to draw backgrounds and stuff like that. But the main reason why I do not draw detailed backgrounds in my Cherry pinup videos on YouTube is because before I answer that question, let me just point out this thing here. If you see the triangle shape here of the back and the back side here, just decide which one of the two you want to move to the left or move to the right. Okay, just shift one of those two things out of the way and you'll have a lovely pose. Just a little quick detail there. Anyway, so back to the question. The main reason why I don't draw backgrounds on the Cherry pinup YouTube videos is because my main focus point in the video is Cherry. Okay, Cherry, how I draw Cherry, and how I color Cherry, the pose of Cherry, you know, everything, the expression of Cherry, everything is Cherry. Okay. Here I'm just demonstrating how I bend, follow the lines, and anyway. So if I draw a really beautiful, complicated background, you know, then your eyes as the audience will not be focusing 100% on Cherry. You would want to observe what everything is going on in the picture. So you're gonna want to see, hey, what's that in the background? What's this on the left? What's that on top? What's this on the bottom? And then basically the whole video is not basically a Cherry pinup video anymore. It's about, hey, it's Paris Christie artwork, a Toonbox artwork. And I don't want that. I don't want it to be about me. I don't want it to be about Cherry. I want it to be about. I just want to show her off to everybody. That's the whole point. That's the reason why these guys that have asked me this question, I've answered this to them, and obviously you guys never got to see this because these were personal messages. So I thought it'd be wise to let you guys know this, that this is the reasons why I don't draw the backgrounds, and I draw backgrounds, but they're just very simple stuff. I just quickly sketched something in the back, and that's it. I don't put energy in or too much thought in the background. Unless it's a prop. A prop, I will put a bit of energy to draw, let's say, a chair or a table or something, but I won't go into even detail on those chairs or anything like that. The main focus point is Cherry, and I'm actually in the process of thinking how to change direction now with Cherry on YouTube. Sorry, I've got to delete this because I did not like it at all. So. Yeah, it didn't come out right. It's because I'm talking and recording and drawing and at the same time I'm not really thinking clearly. Yeah, I'm thinking about changing direction now on YouTube. So you might, it's going to be still about Cherry pinup, but I'm thinking about just taking it to the next step now, and just like, since everybody knows who Cherry is now, it's time to show off like her poses now. So I might even take every month to draw maybe 2 or 3 videos of Cherry in a different pose that I have on my ebook on poses, and show her off without no backgrounds or nothing, just her, butt naked, or maybe having some tiny piece of clothes on the video, and just showing her off on YouTube, and yeah, that's the main thing I want to do, and hopefully have a collection of her in just poses, and not much of a story behind it. I do like hearing feedback though, so if you have any ideas, if you want a specific pose you want me to do that I haven't thought of yet, or it's not in my ebook, or let me know and send me a message, and you can either use my email on toonboxstudio.com, or you can use my Gmail, which is for my YouTube videos only. These are my emails that I use for Cherry on YouTube, or toonboxstudio.com, and yeah. Plus, if there's anything else you guys are interested in learning, whether it's even if it's nothing to do with animation, but it has to be something to do with art, as long as it's art related, please don't ask me to do a fashion design course or something, because I'm not going to go and do a fashion design course. If you want me to do a course on clothes, how to draw clothes, then fine, fair enough. That's something I would have liked to have had when I was starting out. But anything to do with art, for example, even how to do logo designs, or how to do page layouts or how to create posters, or how to play with text, different tricks and effects, and anything you need, anything that's creative and feasible for me to create for you guys. If I could not create it, I will bring someone in who can. I have a huge circle in the business, and people from the States who have got amazing talent there, from the UK, from other European countries, from China, Japan, and I know I have many people that I've crossed paths with through my career, and very talented.